Hello, board members. How are we doing this lovely, lovely, immersive, aka no face cam horror stream Saturday? Well, I hope, of course, we got to return to Underrail, where we are actively in the unknown. We've passed our experts' advice of Ika. Welcome, Ika, by the way. And we're in new territory. Something no one knows anything about. Something unseen by anyone here. And we did that by giving a little bit, just a little bit of therapy to Todd to have him come to terms with what he's living through. T12 knows, yeah, but he's not here yet. When they show up, we'll have someone on here who knows what they're doing. But until then, it's you and me, and we're running around with no idea. Oh, I did come up with an idea for like a personal thing I was going to try. A RoboCop build where it's like heavy armor and like a pistol. The only thing I couldn't figure out what I want to do with the RoboCop build is, do I want to use a pistol or do I want to use a submachine gun? Because technically RoboCop's gun is a pistol, but it has like burst fire and fully automatic capability like a submachine gun, so I was torn. I think I'm going to try a pistol build. Because I've tried an SMG before and it was really strong. So this time I think I'm gonna try specifically going with a pistol. But that's a personal thing I'm doing. We're doing this. We're down here at the bottom of the ocean dealing with the Todd shenanigans. Todd has come to terms and no longer has to see everything in 16 times the detail. Pistol fits better since you can do a higher strength pistol build. Oh, okay. Yeah, you probably wouldn't like my stats, but we should be able to get everything I want for a RoboCop build in there. In the form of, like, heavy armor, very tough, and, like, low agility but high dexterity, if that makes sense. Basically, I'm starting out with 10 perception so that I can get all the best pistol and, like, high crit stuff. And I think a 7 dex so that I can get pistols. A 9mm pistol, I think I can get down to 16 action points so that I can get 3 shots a turn. And then I have, I think, a strength of 6 and a con of 5. So I'm going to have to level those up so I can get that one that's like, what do they call it? Like Juggernaut, I think, that gives you the extra hit points for wearing heavy armor. And that way we're very tough. That should even out, I think, to being a pretty fun RoboCop build with like 0 stealth, 0 dodge, and 0 evasion. We're just walking around getting shot in the face and not feeling it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Oh, also, warning for everyone before I forget, you're going to hear some noises in the background. They're doing some maintenance on the building today. I might have to step away at times to go let people in and out of doors or whatever I need to be called away for. So just keep that in mind. You might hear some noise in the background. Otherwise, we're going to try to stick with this as much as we can for today. Hopefully, at a minimum, we can get to 3 hours. And then if I have to call it earlier than that, that's fine. But we want to get that at least 3 hours in here. But let's go see. Let's go see what's behind the big door we finally got open without aggression. We didn't kill anybody. We didn't force them to come over here. Nothing. So let's go see what's waiting for us. Of course, in stealth mode, since there's a non-zero chance that something might have actually breached into the building at this point. All right. A bunch of lockers. Looks like a dead end over here. Computer. Ooh, a gate control. Gate control. That one looks like it's dead. Oh, yeah. Turn up the movement speed. Okay. So that'll probably be our exit later. Wait, can I look at this through the glass? I sure can't. Alright. Oh, wait. Electrical components. Excellent material for fireproof clothing, as basalt fibers are highly resistant to. Okay. Transparent metallic glass. Microalloy composed of. Oh, is that how they explain this? It's metallic, a transparent metallic glass. I guess that's how they explain that there's windows, but it's also super strong. That's fun. I like that. They do a similar thing with Star Trek. They have transparent aluminum or something like that, which is what the windows are made out of. So they're not actually windows, they're just transparent aluminum. So they're still technically like a weak spot, but they're not actually glass or something crazy like that. Okay. Got some stuff over here. This is just dead end. Oh my god. Of course we found a bunch of super heavy stuff. Graphite's fine. Oh, that one's just stuck. Okay. Hacking 100. We can do that. Bideka, how are you doing? Hopefully you're having a good day. Oh, we just found a bunch more just super heavy metals. High quality stuff too. That's 128. That's very high quality steel. Something some places do is thick wall of whatever and having a big screen inside with a camera just outside the wall. Yeah, that's one they do a lot for sci-fi stuff too. That way you have the effect of a big window without the structural insecurity of a big window, which I can appreciate that. I like the idea. It has the psychological effect of helping, I assume, to loosen up the effects of, you know, claustrophobia and such. No, I mean, they're doing that IRL. Yeah, yeah. Got a gas mask. Wow, gas masks are worth $2,000? What? What? I didn't realize gas masks were worth that much. But no, yeah, no, that's actually, yeah, I agree. That is definitely something they're doing. And oh my god. Why? The hazmat suit, maybe, but all of this super heavy steel. Do we need this much steel? Ika, do we need this much steel? Question is, do I start opening all these doors before I know what's going on? Stuck. Random electrical components. Hacking. But no, I 100% believe they're doing that in real life. I think that makes sense to me. Okay, well, nothing came running out at us from the darkness, so I guess we're alright. Also, please do vividly describe the sights for me as I'm on audio only mode. Okay. Okay, you want vivid... You want the deep, vivid descriptions? Okay, so we went through that main transition screen, came up to a T-junction. Left was a closed gate. Forward was a closed gate that had a window into a office, like a little like entrance office space. To the right was an open passage that led to a dead end and then a door into like a small chamber with two computers that we couldn't interact with. That had another door on a wall made of glass. Okay, we're keeping it up. That led to a wall on glass. Behind the glass and that door was a little hallway. In the hallway was a gate control, which is the only one we found that actually can open something, and a window, obviously leading outside where we don't see anything. We opened the gate to the left. Continuing, I guess technically that would be west. In that west area, we found another three-way, well, two ways to go. We can keep going west into a locker storage area, fairly large one with 3 lockers, or we can go south into just like a kind of antechamber of a hallway kind of. Further past that antechamber, we had a 4-way. West is a locked, shut door that has no control. South is a broken gate control and a broken open gate thing. To the east, we have a broken gate control that would lead back into the area where we came in. So we're not allowed to do that. Then as we go south, the only way we can really go, there's a little glass wall that leads into what looks like a decontamination chamber, or like a witnessing room if you were watching people come in and out of this main hallway. Both doors, well, one door was open, we went in there, there's nothing in there, and then we went to the south. To the south, there's the hallway is blocked off, forcing us to go east into what looks like maybe some kind of cafeteria room, like a small or like a break room. There's 2 lockers here and a locked door. The lockers, we hacked 1 locker. I can unlock this door. Oh, that's a hacking thing. I don't know if I need to hack this door or not. There's nothing here, but we hacked the door. Inside of this little
16 times the detail.
Yes, I'm detailing it so hard for you. From this little break room area in the northeast corner, it leads up to a computer and a locker. The locker, okay, nothing really important in the locker. Computer says a symbiotic environment combining conventional agriculture with hydroponics, making the aquaponics. So, little lore drop, I guess. Todd approves of the level of detail. Okay, and then there's a door on the east side of this little break room. Leads out into a hallway. We have a gate control to the north, and the gate it would open would lead back into that initial starting 4-way that we came into. I don't know if I want to open that yet or not. If we go south from there, the only direction we can go that we haven't been, you hit a T-junction. If you go west, it goes down a long hallway with a gate control, and otherwise, if you go east, it leads to a corner, and then around that corner is another little storage area with 4 lockers. One of them permanently stuck shut, I guess. It just says it's stuck when I interact with it. So if we go back to that T-junction, the most recent one, and then go west, I open the door. Inside of that door is another hallway. We go around, and then we find that the other side of the door, back in the little break room we just left, leads into this same hallway. And that's as far as we've gotten. Looks like from here, the only direction we can go is, I guess that would be west into a hallway. There's two sets of doors. One on the north side, one on the south side, and a sign. Sign says storage on the north side. I see, or rather, I don't. No, you hear with great detail. So presumably one of these rooms is storage. Okay, there's 2 doors on the north side. There's a west door and a east door. We went in the east door, and it seems like this leads into a general storage room, fairly large room, 3 lockers. Anything important? 1 stuck, and the last one has nothing important in it. Okay, we're gonna go into the northwest door now. Okay, very similar room. 1 locker, needing a level 100 hacking. I gotta use a battery. I don't know. Is this better for everyone? Is there anybody? Listen, if you're listening to this on the YouTube,
Door stuck, please.
Are you? Yeah, basically. But if you're listening to this on the YouTube, leave a comment. Do you enjoy the hyper detail? Would you prefer more detail, or do you want me to? Do you prefer the traditional, more relaxed stuff? Wow, 127 quality falchion pistol frame and a 9mm barrel. That would be perfect for my RoboCop run. That's exactly the kind of thing we'd want on a RoboCop run. All right, we're going back out into this hallway. We're going to go down to the south door, which leads into what looks like maybe a furniture storage. There's an old Chase lounge broken down in one corner, and there's a bunch of mattresses. So this must have been where they were storing furniture. There's 1 locker in here with nothing important in it. Back out into the hallway, we're going to continue going west past 2 gate controls that are broken. The door is open. Leads to another T-junction. We can go west, south, or north. South looks like the shorter one, so we're going to start going south. South leads to a tunnel that goes west with a single locker in the middle. Nothing in the locker. Oh, okay. I misunderstood the situation. So back at this most recent T-junction, we couldn't go west. We can see west because something's blocking the hallway. So we went south around basically a little path to the west path. Let's go back north. North has an open door with 2 working control panels. It looks like, okay, as we go north, we came to another 3-way. If we go East here, we hit a dead end, but this look, you can see past it to one of the previously permanently shut doors for the section we just came from. If we go west, looks like... Okay, if we go west, there's another junction. A very small path to the west. To the north is a shut door with a broken gate control. To the south is a glass wall. It leads into like an office slash viewing area with a computer we can't interact with because we don't actually have a way of getting in there. And then to the west is a permanently sealed door with no gate control. Also, in preparation for Battle Brothers, I've been listening to an actual normal adjacent playthrough of Battle Brothers. Oh, okay. So you have some idea of... Because yours is hyper modded, right? Alright, so we're going to take the northern path here, and it seems to lead up to... Okay, it leads up into a larger room that looks like it's more furniture storage. But there's nothing actually in here for me to interact with. Okay, all the way to the north end, there is a hallway leading around to the west. Looks like it leads to a small room, 2 lockers. Stuck. Can I, like... Hold on, I want to try something. Nope, I sure can't. Alright, never mind then. There's 2 lockers and a crate. There's a bunch of ammo inside of the... Well, there's a bunch of shell casings in the crate. Modded and solo. This one I'm listening to is a normal start, still modded, but the challenge run is to only hire very weak people. Oh, okay. Okay, so this little room to the south, we're going back out into this west hallway, going around the corner. Basically, the north wall of this west path is windows into a corner, and the corner is glass, and then going south now, around this path, glass on the west side, if that makes sense. Going south, we go around into a little corner section, which seems to lead into a very small room with just a door. And there's also another small door just south. It's very hard to describe what these rooms look like. Okay, one door I'm gonna hack. Okay, it leads into a very small storage closet with a single locker full of ammo. Various ammos in here of anywhere from 1 to, it looks like, about 10 rounds. Shotguns, pistols, rifles, the whole spiel. Okay, another locker full of plasma grenades. Okay, they may or may not be setting me up for some kind of combat. Okay, so going through the west corner, we're going to go to the other door, which is unlocked. Leads into... Okay. It leads into a little junction area. To the south is a broken door with broken gate controls. Good preparation when you eventually run an Underrail D&D campaign. Yeah. Yeah, the passages are east, south, and west. The east one is a shut door with the gate controls turned off. South one is gate controls and the door shut. No power to those. And the west one is a gate and a locker room to the north. In the northern locker room, 2 lockers with random stuff in them. Nothing useful. Oh, and there's a sign. Special lab, general lab, residential. Okay, that's directions. Looks like it's telling me that the door to the west should lead to the special lab. There's also, next to the gate control, looks like what should have been scaffolding. But it's collapsed, so you can't actually walk on it. That's kind of weird. What is that implying? Like there was a path here, but it doesn't exist anymore? Okay, I'm going to interact with the gate control. Okay, door is open to the west. Proceeding west. Oh, okay. Interesting. So to the west, this western passage on the north side of this hallway is a door that looks like it leads into like a storage room. If you keep going west, there's a large science room that has a probably about 15-foot tall and probably about a 5-foot, well, maybe 6-foot circumference giant glowing purple crystal inside of some kind of science machine. I'm gonna go look in this room first, on the north side, before I trigger whatever's about to happen. Ah, okay, so this north room also, on the west side of that, has a broken glass window, so we can see better into the science room. More crazy cave magic? Yeah. Very much so. Okay, there's a bunch of boxes in here full of ammo and Molotovs and stuff, so that's nice of them. More ammo and more Molotovs. Okay. Yeah, I think they're just loading me up on for combat purposes. There's also a gate control in here that has no power. I'm going to put these Molotovs in my inventory because we're probably going to have to light something on fire here soon. Okay. I went back out into the hallway. I'm kind of surveying the room. I'm going to get a save. There's a non-zero chance. Cave magic, stupid cave magic save. Non-zero chance something stupid's about to kick off. Okay, here we go, everybody. So, walking into this main science room, it looks like there's several paths. It's a pretty square room. In the middle is the crystal with consoles around it in a square shape. The crystal itself is being held up by, like, in square, like, tripod arms holding it in the middle. Probably why they went crazy in Disunion. Yeah, because they were talking about how everyone who went into here would just stay in here instead of leaving. And then randomly one day everyone came out hyper-violent. So yeah, it could probably be the crystal causing that. You're not wrong. Okay, looks like from where I can see here before going into the room, on the south side, it looks like there's a computer scanning room, but I don't know if I can actually get in there. It looks like it's just behind the glass wall. On the north side, it looks like there might actually be an area I can go into, and I can't see on the west side. Okay, I'm going to step into the room now. Okay, nothing is happening. Okay, there is an entrance to the south. I'm just going to duck in there real quick and start checking things. Liquid crystal slime. When motionless, the liquid is viscous and sticks to the walls of the container. Its sparkling reflection, richly colored, but when shaken, the liquid breaks up and turns into matte, dry lumps. It remains so for a few moments, then it resettles and reliquefies. Okay, random oddity we picked up, and a bunch of random stuff in the locker. Inside of this little like viewing room with a console and stuff, there's a gate control, but it's broken. Computer and a scanner, and okay, nothing in here is powered. There's a computer, scanner, and just like a console to look at. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go north, across the room. This looks like it's a medical facility. There's a medical cart. There's 2 medical carts and, like, unused bed. Oh, we found a focus stem. Okay. Wow, a lot of adrenaline and a lot of health hypos. There's an oxygen tank. Inside is a massive dried-up human brain. Okay. There's another organ tank. There's 2 organ tanks. The second one has no power, and it won't let me interact with it. Computer, and another organ tank. Contains grossly oversized heart with electrodes attached to them. There's 2 of them kind of next to each other, with apparently that inside of them. This is very clearly some kind of crazy, like, organ experimentation room. Going back into the crystal room, there's 2 more doors I found on the west side. There's one that leads to the north into what looks like a power unit area. There is a neural interface machine, which is like a sit-in machine. Electrical cabinet. Ooh. Meg tracings. Magnetoencephalogram of a certain R. Janison's brain activity during high-frequency shadow wave exposure, as printed at the bottom. Doesn't look healthy a bit. Doesn't look healthy one bit, worth 2 XP. Otherwise, it's much of... Oh, a pacifier. The cumbersome and clunking construction of this psionic headband suggests that it's just an experimental model. Seems that their designer were looking to enhance non-lethal psionic techniques. Oh, okay. Reminds me of in the movies when the military squad is going into an unexplored place and it's giving updates to headquarters. Then all they die in some crazy monster / alien. Yeah, technically that's kind of what's going on. So yeah, there's a pacifier headwear, which looks like it's a purple item. And then there's that Meg tracing thing, and then the rest of this is like electronic parts and stuff. Let's see, grants 1 additional psi slot Psionic skill increased by 25. Psionic regeneration increased by 3. Non-damaging psi abilities cost reduction by 30%. Equipped damaging psi abilities psi cost increased by 40. Initiative decreased by 15. Chance to get critically hit by weapon and unarmed attacks increased by 5. Interesting. I don't know what that's for. I don't know enough about psionics to know if that's relevant, but we'll be taking it. And that was just in an electrical cabinet. Okay, so then we got a psi booster just sitting out on top of a counter. We have an unpowered computer, a power unit, a neural interface, looks like a head scanner, or maybe a projector of some kind. Okay. We go back out into the main crystal room. I'm going to go west into what looks like a meeting room. There's a big table in the middle with a bunch of consoles sitting on top of it facing outward. There's a chase lounge in one corner and a bunch of chairs around the meeting table in the middle, and everything is destroyed. There's a window wall between the office and the crystal room, and one of the windows is busted out. There's also a regular door that's unlocked. Okay. The west side of that room is also windows outside into the water. Oh, there's a big tapestry on the wall. It depicts a giant serpent devouring a radiant sphere. Okay, sounds like the origin of the serpent burn. Like when people do temporal manipulation plus anything, sounds good for a psi hybrid build. Okay, gotcha. Alright, so there's not anything in this office other than this tapestry on the wall, which weirdly tab is not indicating, so it's kind of a hidden object. Snack? Yeah. Okay, back into the crystal room. I guess the only thing we can really do now is go see if we can turn the power on back up here since everything is turned off. Or the other option is I can actually go all the way back. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to go all the way back and see what happens if I go back to the beginning of this room and go south instead of north. Since there's a whole nother path still to the south I haven't explored. Before we kick this off, which seems like it's a one and done sort of thing, probably the progression. Okay, so going south, we go around in this little like horseshoe U-bend. Oh, okay. There is a door here that leads into that initial viewing room that we couldn't get. Well, the second viewing room, I guess, technically, since we're so far into this complex. Okay. In the north, inside of this room, we got a medical cabinet. Some meds in it. There's a desk. Weird symbol. A weird but oddly familiar symbol written in red on a piece of electrical paper. Probably sounds like the Sherman barn. Hackable box in here. Hacking the box. Lot of supplies. There's an acid vial, 2 napalms, or a napalm and gasoline, graphite, a chemical blob dispenser. Seems like they're setting me up if I wanted to build some Molotovs. There's a computer, medicite canister in the manufacturing dome. Okay. Hopefully, I don't actually need to go make some chemicals since we've run out all the chemical makers. Okay, back into this like weird shaped hallway. It's like 2 U's kind of interacting on a corner. We can go west, basically. 2 steps west. There's a north passage on a door control that's permanently locked. Further west is a small room with a malfunctioning fuse box and a couple of computers. Fairly large room with a window outside on the west side. First computer between R&D and the remaining submarines and subspheres. Okay. Next computer, sacrifice of human flesh and bone. Okay, it's gotten a little more unhinged. Just as he expunged the invading submarine. Okay. There's a box. A couple batteries in it. Okay, now there's only one last room in here that goes north in what looks to be a giant server rack room. There's several of the electrical cabinets in here that are still on. 2 electrical cabinets I can actually go through. Nothing important. Okay. It's a pretty standard electrical room with nothing actually going on in it. So, and that's a dead end. Alright, so the only thing left to do now is to go back and turn on the power in here and see what happens. We'll get another save. We're heading all the way back to the crystal room. This is a fairly complex area, considering there's not any, like, hostiles in any of this so far. I'm assuming, like, this is going to kick on, and then all the hostiles are going to become, like, psychic projections or something.
Save!
It's, crystal time. Save! I'm saving. Okay. Let's see if what happens if we go click on this crystal without turning the power on. Oh, okay. Shadowlith. To merely call the monolith dark would be accurate, but not be accurate. Its blackness is not merely the lack of reflected light, but emptiness in every way. Its space is not vacant or filled with dark substance, but rather it feels as though there is not even any space there. It's more like a tear in space-time, or perhaps a tear in reality itself, revealing the nothingness behind. At the same time, the monolith does appear as if some sort of existence itself. Oh, okay, wait. The monolith does appear as if it has some sort of existence itself, and its existence seems clearer and more fundamental than that of everything else around it. One of its corners seems to have been cut off, giving you a glimpse inside the monolith, a sight of endless expanse populated by dimmed purple, bluish, and reddish light, sparsely lit by bright white particles, all swirling endlessly without an aim in fine purple mist through the black void. A lot of purples in this, if you didn't pick up on that, Ika. Let's see. Reach out and touch the monolith. Touch the place where the monolith was cut. Reach out for the monolith with your mind. Let's just see what happens if we touch it. It feels smooth to touch. It's neither cold nor warm. Okay. Touch the place where the monolith was cut. You scramble up the slippery monolith until you can reach the cut part. Then you slowly insert your finger inside, but immediately withdraw them due to searing pain. You slide down in a panic and inspect your hand. The very tips of your fingertips appear as if they were cut off with surgical precision. Oh my god, that would suck so bad. That would be so miserable. That makes me physically hurt. As someone who's been cut before, that sounds horrific. So it sounds like this thing is some kind of like hyper power crystal cube. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, reach out for the monolith with your mind. You focus your mind on the monolith and the experience isn't like anything you've known before. I almost disagree with that. We've experienced some crazy stuff. All the thoughts you direct towards the monolith are swallowed by its darkness, and you are left dazed, confused, with irrational sense of dread. Floppy to Penguin, welcome. How you doing? Hopefully you're having a good day. Ika made this thing? No, saying you did. Maybe you both did, and then you deleted your memories with it to make it seem like the other one did it. You know what I mean? Or maybe it deleted both of your memories to make its fathers argue with one another, and that way you would forget about it and like leave it down here so other people could like find it, and then it could corrupt them. Because it knew its only weakness was its two dads who like hang out and do make like slash fiction. But hopefully you're doing well, Floppy Penguin. I hope you're having a good day. Okay, so... Oh, we took 27 mechanical damage by putting our hand in there, I guess? Okay, so it did physical damage. So technically that could have killed me. Alright, and then touching it with our brain, like, kicked us out. So I guess we just gotta turn the power back on. Alright, let's see what happens when we turn the power back on. Okay. Okay, there's a couple of faint lights glowing underneath the crystal now, and a bunch of the computers and stuff seem to have come back on. Let's interact with this computer right next to the power console. Welcome P. Bridges, unable to connect to the ASIN documents. Shadow wave psychroprojection charts. Shadow wave psychroprojection charts. Superseded or current? Standard, superseded. Infrared, no perception simulation and no short-term effect. Delta, faint, distant aural beat in the range of 5 to 15. No visual simulation. Theta, deep simulation of unconscious cognition, inductive reasoning, memory recollection, creativity, association, language, etc. Alpha, sense of great reflection and loss of sense of time and spatial awareness. Beta, lucid audiovisual hallucinations. Gamma, increased analytical cognitive performance, deductive reasoning, complex problem solving, etc. Epsilon, increased psionic performance across most disciplines. Exhausting for non-psychic subjects, severe headaches in extreme cases. Frequency higher than 60 Hz are considered dangerous and should only be used with psionic subjects while exercising extreme caution. Zamat87, welcome. Imagine if the acorn was actually just a normal acorn. Yeah, that's the joke I feel like they're setting up, is that they don't know what an acorn is because they don't know what trees are, and acorns come from trees. That's the same joke that they, like I said, they did with Fallout, where there was like the post end of the world recovery unit or whatever, and then they found it and actually it was just a lunchbox with some seeds and like a bottle of water. But yeah, so it looks like depending on what level of hertz that you're in has a different effect on the brain. The entire shadowlith crumbles to pieces and inside is just a normal acorn. Oh my god, that would be kind of amazing. Okay, shadow dust inhalation, current. Let's see, shadow wave frequencies, sense of, let's see, infra, sense of verticular motion inside head and abdomen, mild headaches and intestinal pain in approximately half of subjects. Delta, violent pounding in ears, sometimes occupied by hissing, growling, and screaming, no visual stimulation. Theta, creeping terror, distress, coldness. Alpha, sense of asphyxiation and claustrophobia. Beta, temporary loss of sight and hearing with the exception of sporadic audiovisual visions, most commonly containing flashing pairs of lights, serpentine motion, and indescribable echoing sounds. Or indiscernible echoing sounds. Gamma, suicidal urges, madness, often leading to cerebral hemorrhaging and death, complete and overwhelming sensory hallucinations. Frequency higher than 42 Hz will consistently result in death of subject that has inhaled shadow dust. Wow. Okay. This thing is incredibly hostile to human existence. Okay, we're going back to documents. Psychoprojection image. Dr. Metziala's drawings. First drawing features a black background with a few white squiggly lines, some thicker, some thinner, nothing more. The second sketch is more elaborate. There are about 20 or so lines horizontally parallel to one another, with some having warm colorization, red, orange, yellow, etc. Either all the way through or partially until turning white again. They're shaped like sine waves, sine as in S-I-N-E, waves with smooth, constant amplitude. But some waves are only uniform until they spiral out of order and outside the bounds of the drawing. How would you know that? The third sketch is yet more elaborate. The background is still black, but all of the lines are colored without restrictions. Their mutual spatial relationship feels organized in a fully two-dimensional way, while their shapes are more varied in size and proportion, if still rounded for the most part. Simple geometrical shapes like triangles and squares split in half diagonally are also present, as if emerging from some kind of fabric formed by the underlying intertwistment of multicolored lines. Yet the form is purely abstract and doesn't reference anything from the real world. The fourth drawing is completely blank. The fifth drawing can easily be mistaken for a long-lost work of abstract art. It's a fully colored, three-dimensional painting of warped land, or water, or something completely different, with angular shapes of complex geometry placed on it with a great sense of spatial awareness and proportion. The colors are overwhelming, as if the painter was compensating for their lack of vividness or some other inherent property. The many lines were drawn multiple times with slight deviations in their dimensionality. Perception. We're able to see through the distracting colors and deceptive lines to discover otherworldly forms. The background, whatever it is, as mangled and undefined as they may look, feels strangely alive, for a still image, and in some kind of sensory motion as if the visuals want to expand into sound and sense, but never actually do. The complex shapes, peculiar polyhedral architecture, and machines are more defined and in some ways appear to conquer this realm. They do not appear to be fit for human beings, as at least not of our size and proportions, but perhaps something entirely different? Okay, first but some kind of sensory motion as if the visuals... The complex shapes, peculiar polyhedral architecture, and machines They're more defined and in some ways appear to conquer this realm. So it's like non-Euclidean aliens are showing up and taking over wherever this place was. The sixth drawing represents a cold, calculated organization of shapes, void of artistry and human emotion. A technical drawing, in a sense. The rounded shapes are prominent again, as well as a few merged tetrahedrons, and colors are uniform in distribution and saturation. This is the first one that features text, formulae that seem to describe properties of the drawn reality and relate to them to our own. The seventh drawing is unfinished, being only about 1/3 done. It is a chaotic amalgamation of all the previous works, containing spirals and triangles and half-written formula. Its incompleteness doesn't have a sense of drawing direction you're familiar with. Instead, there are many holes in the composition. Certain spots just lack color, whereas some other spots are completely blank, and there is no discernible pattern to any of this. Drawing makes no sense to you. It also appears to be the last one in the folder. Also find it funny, Zane shows up at the moment the DLC gets the most Eldritch. Yeah, that is amazing timing on your part, Floppy Penguin. Let's see. Early collection. The folder contains numerous drawings by various individuals, ranging from simple black and white sketches to colorful portrayals of mind-bending objects, worlds, or purely abstract concepts. Rounded, wavelength, or spiraling lines pervade the imagery, and triangles, pyramids, or tetrahedrons, depending on dimensional features, are also common motifs. There are a few notable ones. A transparent submarine dripping with black, slimy mass, beams of light illuminate it from the dark below. A human figure cutting the monolith depicted as being laid down horizontally on the floor. There's a black smoke rising from it and filling the room before falling back down as specks of dust. Some strange flying machine with large wings speeding through fog. Its dimensions and other proportions are written next to it. A man and a woman with their hands reaching up. Tentacles emerge from below and hold them by their legs. Anatomy of a woman with some unknown markings on her vital organs. Her skin is colored green. Wait, we've seen that one thing before, right? A man and a woman with their hands reaching up. Tentacles emerge from below and hold them by their legs. Haven't we seen that somewhere? Was that the figurine that we had to retrieve to get into the Chortist's place? That sounds incredibly familiar. The rest of this is like, sounds like one of them sounds like a plane or something. The other one seems to describe what happened to the monolith, but that one sounds familiar for some reason. It's the anatomy of some unknown, with a woman with some unknown markings on her vital organs. Her skin is colored green. It's similar, but not quite. Okay. Contemporary collection. This folder contains numerous drawings by various individuals, most of them disturbing in form and content. They feature twisted perspectives, strong colors that bleed into one another, serpents and other sinister-looking creatures devouring or simply slaughtering humanoid beings, as well as creatures of other kinds. Some of the drawings contain formulas, occult rather than scientific, writing things done to flesh that is often featured next to these inscriptions, drawn in one way or the other. Some are more notable than others. Humanoid reptilians driving spears into a hairy, muscular, four-legged creature that are in the middle of an endless pool of blood, a serpent constricting various objects, people, machines, cities, celestial bodies, and things greater, often titled as Sormir, or Flotstrom, or more commonly, Flotshamar. A vortex of some kind, dark-centered and surrounded by people both alive and dead. All the living ones are bowing deeply. The ones who are sprinkling some kind of black dust all over it. Dead are never whole. Okay. Neuron mapping set.ppr. Paper, I assume? The dark screen slowly turns purple. Colorful and detailed spiraling shapes of mathematical perfection begin to appear in the middle of the screen, becoming more and more concentrated in the very center until a systematical image finally gains form. The shapes repeat in different configurations and are self-similar, composed of smaller, identical, or almost identical shapes to itself, diminishing in scale to apparent infinity. The text underneath the image indicates that the image is being rendered in real time from some kind of mathematical function, and you are given the option to further zoom in. Interesting. Okay. So this is like the madness, like The madness equation? That's actually really interesting. Okay, zoom in. You zoom into the center. The macro shape outgrows the screen and reveals a fractal composition whose consistence then again grow larger and radiate away as you zoom in. Colors change and shapes reconfigure. And the longer you stare into the infinite center of the more it feels like you're descending into new realities, losing sight of the previously obvious patterns and building blocks. You're right back driving? Alright, drive safe. From purple vastness, you fall into a spiraling azure sea whose surface forms the maw of the universe that swallows you and squeezes you past the bright stars, into a quasar containing a layer of slithering green serpents between which clouds of glistening dust conceal scorching pits of molten rock, forming an iced island of which lush orange vegetation homes the swarms of yellow thousand-legged insects crawling around their monstrous black queen, whose single compound eye reflects floating polyhedrons between which cosmic arcs of lightning wreak havoc that disintegrate reality and funnel it broken into a spiraling singularity. What did I just read? From purple vastness, green serpents which cloud scorching past a molten rock, forming an iced island on which... Wow. That's... I don't know what to read into that, but okay. Which is in fact a great serpent. You can no longer zoom in. So yeah, that was, I guess, that shape was used to act as like a doorway to zoom into another reality, or a different part of our reality. That's something, all right. Cycle projecting images, which is what we just looked at. Back. Summon available servant. No available servant detected. I can't start decontamination process or initiate lockdown. Alright, computer is done. Neural interface. There's a lot of exposed cabling, mismatched and makeshift components, otherwise clear signs of an ad hoc approach to constructing and modifying this device. Okay. Some more computers over here. Oh, I guess this is an open door. Okay, from the power room with that computer, we were able to go through what I thought was a wall, but is actually just an opening into the organ storage area. Okay, we got two computers. The screen displays an image of a dissected man. His body is twisted and atrophied, and contain certain patches of his skin feature reptilian scales. Shadow waves of living tissue is on the other one. Oh, okay, we actually have labels now. Neo-reptilian brain on the organ tank. Inside a massive dried up brain. What about on these ones? Grossly oversized. Oh, okay. So they were trying to make serpent people? Or did they find serpent people? Okay, we went back out into the main room and... Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. We went back out into the main room with the crystal. I went south, but I decided I'm gonna go east instead, back into like the storage locker that we passed on the way in. Locker room. There's a gate control here. Oh. We can actually seal the main gate into the crystal room from that the approaching hallway. Okay, we went south into the south room where they have the scanner and the computer, and now the gate control's turned on to go into this next room to the west. We haven't been there before. Okay, I'm gonna look at the scanner. It's some kind of crudely constructed scanner. You can't deduce much from its appearance. Okay, computer. Unco, welcome P. Bridges, unable to connect. Documents and summon servant. No servants detected. Documents. Shadowlith Archive. This is a collection of collaborative scientific notes, reports, and papers on Shadowlith recovered following shadow emission LEAD-129, which wiped out most of the data in the Spatial Laboratory database. The collection is incomplete and provides limited corporeal insight in the most basic interactions between Shadowlith and our reality. It should only serve for archival purposes. Okay, number 1 is discovery, 2 is composition tank number 142, not quotation. What are those called? I don't remember what these are called. It's number 142 symbol, 143 symbol. Brackets? No. I think those are brackets. Shadow waves, shadow wave manipulation, object negation experiment number 5, and anamorphic disk. Okay, we'll just start at the beginning. Discovery. The Black Monolith was first uncovered at the Abyssal Excavation Site 6, exact year and date unknown, closest estimation between LEBD 20 and 30. Several years after the construction of the Abyssal Station 0. The monolith is a 3-meter tall... Okay, so 3 meters is... What is that, like... basically like 10 feet tall? 10 feet tall, deep black structure in the shape of a hexagonal prism, augmented with pyramidal frustrums at its top and bottom. It's composed of material so dense it requires 4 heavy sublifters to bring it to the station. At 108 tons, its density was calculated to be 30.016 grams per centimeter. What's tripled? Not cubed. What's the other one? I can't remember what the 3 one is. Tripled, essentially. Transporting it from the manufacturing dome required reinforcing the floor with RG panels and using super lubricated mats to eliminate friction when pushed by strongmen. Continue. Oh, okay, that's just... Oh, so this is the history of it. Composition test number 142, bracket 143. Data unavailable. The test was performed after an upgrade to the nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscope module in the hopes that it will finally allow us to determine the molecular structure of the Black Monolith after numerous failed attempts. To our dismay, but sadly consistent with all our previous tests, this one too gave us no results. The Black Monolith is impenetrable to all of our instruments and impervious to all the tools with which we've tried to obtain samples. In agreement with Dr. Marasan, we are ceasing all attempts at further testing the monolith's physical properties until means to obtain samples are provided. We will instead focus on all our research on the shadow waves. Dr. Lef Boutton. Shadow waves. Shadow waves. Shadow wave is a transverse wave radiated by the Black Monolith, which during its first half period exhibits measurable physical interaction, positive extancy, but no measurable interactions during its second half period, negative extancy. In normal conditions, the change between positive and negative extancy occurs on a frequency of negative or minus 0.2 hertz, meaning that the wave completes one full circle in 0.4 hertz with an average wavelength of 16 microns. Okay, the points where extancy states come to an end are called shadow wave ecstasy limits, or more specifically, negative and positive ecstasy limits for each of the respective states of interaction. Okay, that's a lot of detail, and I almost feel like we're going to need to know how to do that to do a math puzzle in this next room or something. The extent to which the shadow waves interact with material reality is not yet known, but so far we've measured the more obvious electromagnetic interactions, effects of shadow waves on electromagnetic fields by Dr. E. Herman Smigermarschen, some weak nuclear interactions, radioactive decay at shadow wave examy limits, Dr. Turbin Verger, and some strong nuclear interactions, quark chromodynamic perturbations at shadow wave ecstasy limits, Dr. Vivider. That's the wives family of Todd. Unaccounted for increases and decreases in mass are at extensing limits have also been measured, but due to its inconsistent manifestation and magnitude, you have to draw solid conclusions with respect to gravitational effects of the wave. Wow. So for no apparent reason, it changes weight and mass. Most of the perturbations and otherwise unexplained phenomena occur near or at ecstasy limits, whereas during positive ecstasy, the shadow wave carries energy in the form of regular electromagnetic waves, starting at the negative and ending at the positive ecstasy limit of that period. In a somewhat predictable fashion, depending on the properties measured, how the energy is carried from positive to negative ecstasy limits for all intents and purposes, how the wave comes into existence again, and why and how these limits, which can be represented as fields causing these interactions manifests in space is yet unknown. What is clear is that the change in this electromagnetic component wave during positive ecstasy of the shadow wave shadow wave is conserved throughout its negative ecstasy, meaning that it is without a doubt the same wave which alternates between affecting and not affecting physical reality. As all our research suggests, it is quite possibly all of its fundamental aspects. The electromagnetic wave, which we've studied the most of all the interactions, exhibits an unusual kind of elliptical polarization defined by Hollander's disjoint function. Informally, it has been dubbed the serpentine polarization, as its graph representation bears the likeness of a snake spiraling through space. All attempts at polarizing the wave in any way have proven unsuccessful, as the wave will be repolarized as soon as the shadow wave enters its negative ecstasy, meaning that after passing a negative ecstasy limit, the EM wave will again have serpentine polarization. They really love this. They're really into snakes coming off of this thing, I guess. Shadow wave manipulation. That sounds like a really bad idea. If you don't have no idea what this thing does or why it's doing it, and it seems to have like the raw power that you're scared it has, feels like trying to manipulate this thing is a bad idea. Shadow wave manipulation by Dr. Gustav Marison. So far, we've determined that the shadow wave can be partially manipulated through changes in the electromagnetic field during positive ecstasy. This means that by giving the wave more energy at appropriate ecstasy limits, we can, for instance, change its frequency in a manner that is consistent with our understanding of the laws of reality. However, this also produces amplified and so far unpredictable quantum effects at ecstasy limits, both positive and negative, depending on how the wave has been manipulated and the medium through which it passes. The shadow waves can be directed through space by guiding them into Orion tubes with a massive magnetic field shaper at the base of the monolith. In these tubes, we shoot protons at specific intervals, aiming for either negative or positive intimacy limits so that we may study the resulting quantum interactions. It describes this process, I guess. The consistency of Heinlein's law and electron position annihilation near negative. Oh my god. Moving on. The process can be dangerous if too much energy is introduced, which has resulted in 2 accidents already. But controlled wave manipulation at positive ecstasy limits will create a relatively stable change in the wave. But quantum interactions occur at negative ecstasy limits, like the creation of new particles.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly, Bubsy. Actual and not virtual is currently beyond the scope of our understanding. Oh my god. I guess they're just scientists trying to understand a thing, but man, they really feel like they're playing with something they shouldn't be playing with. Alright, so we got object negation experiment number 5. Object negation experiment number 5. This experiment was conducted to test the hypothesized complete negation of objects from reality with PSWB, phased shadow wave beam technology. The object used for this experiment is a standard-sized pseudo-brass cup suspended in an MO5 testing sphere. Pseudo-brass? Okay. By channeling the shadow wave through two 5.3 meter long Orion tubes and introducing wait, it has a star on it. Okay, using Sagamoran's resonance function, amount of energy at every positive ecstasy limit, we are able to achieve the desired frequency of 67.5 hertz for both waves. One wave is then continuously phase shifted in the range of degrees while the PSW is being focused on the cup. After the darkening effect has been achieved, another energy surge is needed to completely negate the cup from existence, a process which occurred in less than 0.15 seconds. The experiment, besides proving the negation hypothesis, also proves Botton's principle that strong chemical bonds will ensure the whole object will be affected. In conclusion, the 5th test was a complete success, the only losses being the 2 Orion tube and 1 MO5 sphere. However, those could hardly be called losses, not because of the relatively small cost of the equipment, but more so due to the fact that changes in their chemical structure and the formation of these unknown liquid crystal compounds will provide our team with new studying material. Oh. I wonder if that's the material that makes up that, like, snow globe thing we found. Anamorphic disc. Anamorphic disc. Today we received something called an anamorphic disc. It's supposedly capable of cutting the black monolith. It came in an external shipment, the details of which are oddly kept away from all of us, low-key, lowly engineers. At first glance, it's a rather uninteresting ruby disc, 20 centimeters in diameter and 1 centimeter thick. Apparently this has garnered an exclamation point? Gray in color, of rough texture, made out of some unknown synthetic material. We were explicitly instructed not to scan and to keep in cryo except during use. This thing is something no sane person would see as a cutting tool, let alone something that could damage an object as impervious as the black monolith. However, after doing some testing at the shop, we now view the anamorphic disc in a completely different light. The disc arrived with a Satter SG888M large diameter grinder on whose end it is to be attached, which frequently gives us a comically disproportionate appearance. Speaking of comical, are we really expected to believe that such a primitive tool as a mechanical grinder with a rubber gasket at its end will achieve what the most technological advanced lasers and plasma cutters at our disposals can't? These thoughts went through all of our minds, and then we fired the thing up. That's gotta be... That is a very great, you know, last thing said, right? That's gotta be, you know, hey guys, look at this, or I bet I could pull that off. One of those great last things they said before everyone in the room died is, the thoughts went through all of our minds, and then we fired the thing up. For one moment, we all thought about, man, what happens if this giant room-sized meat grinder breaks down or something? And then we fired it up. Within the span of a second, the disc flattened while tripling in diameter. Its gray color became much lighter in shade. In this state, the disc could cut anything we tested on. Pseudobrass, steel, all the way to stronger alloys and minerals, even a G5 rated diamond, and did so with little resistance. Wow, so they made like a molecular hyper disc. Will it cut the monolith? That would be the ultimate test. We were instructed to modify a strongman to use the grinder, ensure that it is capable of performing the cut, taking all of the potential variables into account. No idea how they came up with those, but but what do I know? I'm just an engineer. Hopefully the cut will be performed tomorrow, after which I will file another report. Chief Station Engineer Boris Grayson. Okay. That was the last one. Back to documents, nothing. No strongmen detected. Okay, that's the last of the stuff on the computer. We're gonna have to use the gate control and go west into whatever this next room is. Looks like it's primarily a storage. Oh! It has the Acron in it. It's a box. There's a couple of lockers in here full of weapons. And then another locker full of like random like stuff. Batteries, blueprints, electrical components. Okay, so this must have been a storage room? There's a strongman head in here. They got burn marks that rise from the neck and spiral towards the top of the head. They emit a faint purple glow. Ah, this must have been the one that actually did the cutting and then got sprayed with monolith dust. So it sounds like they cut it and all went mad. Kinda, yeah. Based on the fact that inhaling the dust off of this thing will cause madness, and the fact that they cut it open and presumably a bunch of gas leaked out that they inhaled. We've also got a plasma cell and a greater fusion cell in here we can pick up, besides all the stuff in the lockers, which there's so many guns in here. It's 3 full rows of guns and knives and sledgehammers. Funnily enough, looking at this now, I realize that all the weapons in here are default weapons. There's no shotguns in here or swords. So these are all like base module weapons. There's none of the DLC weapons in here, I don't think. Odd. Alright, let's go look at Acron, shall we? Acron, Abyssal Station 0. Item acquired. Okay. Okay. Abyssal Station 0. Acorn is written on the top face, just below a white symbol resembling a diagonally placed egg, whose upper half is enclosed by a semicircle with a bent stalk at the very top. Basically, Ika. What's funny though is that sound effect is probably going to get me copyright struck or something stupid. Okay, enclosed by a semicircle with a bent stalk at the very top. It appears to be a container of some kind, one that seems to be open horizontally in the middle. You are, however, unable to find the means by which to do so. There are no handles, no locks, no buttons. Touchscreens are visible sensors. Additionally, the robust casing easily discourages brute force, at least by your conventional means. Whatever is inside is likely invaluable. It weighs 4 pounds. Oh boy. I mean, it sounds like something, all right. But we have it now, I guess. I don't know.
Victory screech!
It's a small victory, but it is a victory, SpongeBob. You're not wrong. Problem is, if I take all these weapons with me, I'm going to be way overweight. I might grab, like, the most expensive ones. Ooh, 11,000. Oh my god, these laser guns are worth a fortune. Wow, okay. That sledgehammer's also worth a boatload of cash. Let's see. 7,000. Actually, we can probably leave that. 9, 11, 12, 12. The sniper rifle's worth 9. This other laser rifle, though. We'll take the other laser rifle. Okay. So, we grab the most expensive weapons. Really, the food doesn't help. I'm just slightly overweight, and I really, 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 really don't want to be. Oh, high density foam weighs a pound, and I don't have no use for that. Oh, wait. Oh my god, we're being combated. What is that? It's like it came off the monolith, and it's just sparkles? Okay, they seem to see... Okay, I can't actually target these. We're just in combat now, so it's, I guess, just make a break for it time. We are commencing the running, everybody. Oh, I think I fought this. There's another one in the DLC. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're just like sparkly clouds of purple dust that are attacking us, but they don't seem to have a physical form involved. Oh, the tapestry also in this... Oh, wait. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, okay. A bunch of purple portals, like misty portals, have opened up across the map. All the windows outside are also coated in purple mist, blocking our view of the water. And the tapestry in the office, like the meeting office, is like lit up now. It has like a space purple thing going on. So this is bad. We're in a bad spot, I think. I have Void Rot. The character suffers 4 energy damage every turn. Okay. Well, I'm going to continue running now, if it's all the same to you. Where am I? Oh, this door is shut. Oh, okay. I don't know if locking them in there is actually going to help or not, but hey, we did it. Okay. So now we're just kind of trying to leave. I guess I didn't get a chance to check some of these other computers on the way out, but that's fine. Okay, so if we're here, I'm just sprinting down. I'm gonna go That way. And I can go this way. Can't go that way. I have to go north. Go north, up around this way, and then I go that way. Go down. Okay, so we do need to go straight down here, through this little, like, break room, and then go north. Okay. Don't think there's another path available for me. Looks like I can go straight this way. Oh, wait. Oh, no, this is closed. I guess we're going that direction. Okay. Ow. Oh, good. There's another one. Okay. And we're running, everybody. Luckily, it's not messing up our ability to run. Man, doing this as RoboCop would suck. We're just running, everybody. Okay, the little floating, I don't know, gas assailant clouds are appearing in the portals, which I guess isn't surprising. Yeah, this is going to be basically impossible to do as RoboCop. It's interesting that we have no way of fighting back, because there's nothing for me to actually target. I guess I could, like, throw a grenade or something, but I don't really feel like that's going to do much. I have no idea if that's going to help. Okay, it did help. They can't actually go through walls and stuff. He used bear traps. Yeah, I'm sure the bear traps are going to trigger off of gas clouds. Okay, there's another gate control here I might be able to interact with to shut the gate behind me. Okay. Not enough action points. Oh, it teleported to the other side of me. Gosh darn it. I don't know if that's going to help anything or not, but... Okay, we're most of the way to the exit now. Void damage is no longer occurring. Okay, we transitioned. Well, exit? No, shut... Todd? Todd, I need you to come shut this gate for me. Todd? Where's Todd at? Todd? Oh my god, is Todd dead? Todd? Todd's gone, everybody. Todd's gone. Todd's gone. Todd? Todd, I have bad news.
It just works.
No, it doesn't, Todd. Other Todd, Todd, no. Okay, and we're just leaving. So is Todd going to be waiting at the exit for us to try to kill us or something on the way out, or what? What's this say? Manufacturing. Oh yeah, we never got to raise this because our strength isn't high enough. No, it looks like Todd might just be gone. Oh, there's another door over here. Huh. Oh, that must be where he's putting all of his waste. There's a bunch of green built up there. Maybe he's inside of the submarine? Ah, he is. A pair of eyes stare at you, tainted with fearful determination. Dogrider McGillicuddy. Nod, are you sure you want to do this? Todd, what are you doing here? I can take you... I only take you to get out. Sorry, this is a one-man submarine to just shoot him in the face. Nod, are you sure you want to do this? He nods silently. Welcome aboard. I can only take you to the surface and you're on your own. Welcome aboard. He nods with a slight smile. Don't be afraid. Time to surface. Just don't touch anything. I'll get the submarine started. I have a few things to do first, and then we're off. When we're off, you stay put. Just don't touch anything. I'll get the submarine started. Alright, everybody. Luckily, we have all of our stuff just sitting on the floor here. Also, apparently, I'm just injured enough that I have to use first aid kit. Gosh darn it. Okay, so specifications. Navigation. Course. Okay, main controls, dive, surface. I guess dive? Or surface, right? Done, passed, 2 units responded, done, done. Surface. Alright, we're out, everybody. We're moving. Why does... No questions. Size. It's okay, Todd. We'll get there. His breathing speeds up. Don't worry, Todd. This isn't a helicopter in Resident Evil. But he closes his eyes and calms down. There should be a beacon here, but everything's dark. There's a lot of dust particles in the water, though. Look up what was... Shh. Oh my god, have we, like, activated the super monolith? Or the super serpent? We're almost there. How much? Wow. I think we made it? Okay. Going outside. Yeah, we're back. We're on the surface. Okay. Well, we did it, Todd. Is this the surface?
Victory Screech!
It is. Now about you. Me? This world is dangerous and will swallow you in seconds. We can't take care of you can't take care of yourself, but I can't take care of you either due to the nature of my life. I'll find someone who will, though. You stay here and I'll be back as soon as I find a new home. Okay, so we gotta go. He smiles. Thank you, Dogman McKilty. I'll stay here. I'll be good. I won't touch anything. Good. See ya. Okay, so... Probably the mom from the pirate camp. Presumably the mom from the pirate camp. My first thought is the mom from the pirate camp who needs a new kid. I don't know if he's going to like the idea of living in a pirate camp, but, you know. Such is the life we're going to be giving him. Maybe you could admit him to SGS? Oh, that might be true, too. If I take all of this... How much weight is that? Oh, I think I can still move with that, right? I can. Nice. Alright, we can get everything off the floor of the sub and put it in boat! And we can put all this in there and just have tons and tons of junk. I guess the only downside to all of this was that we didn't get all that heavy steel out of there, which kind of sucks. But we don't really need the steel for anything particular. And we got all this other, like, really expensive weapons and stuff, so we're okay, I think. We're probably fine. Okay. Alright, do I get, like, a quest update on any of this? The knowledge and looking around, this is sequestered facilities. UPSS Armstrong is almost finished. Okay, that's the Grim Jetters. Talk to Vera. Oh, there's the Black Sea. You found the acorn, but not a way to open it or use it. You can hand it over to someone who perhaps can, or you could keep it for yourself. I mean, SGS isn't a terrible idea. Maybe? Maybe what? Probably 6 would know how to use it. Oh, that's true. So we'd have to what? Is 6 still inside of... I guess the question is, where is 6 at right now? Is he in deep caverns, or is he at the spaceship? T12, welcome. You've come at an interesting time. We just escaped from the underwater abyssal station with Todd in tow. And we're trying to figure out what to do with Todd and the acorn that we found. We're thinking right now we can either take Todd... Towing Todd? Yeah, we're towing Todd. We can either take Todd to the mom from the healer mom from the pirates, or maybe SGS. I want to call the ferry. Wow, he's big. He's not that big. He'd fit on boat. So yeah, we have the mom from the pirates, or SGS station would probably take him in, no problem. And then what do we do with Acorn? Ica was thinking we take it to 6, which makes sense to me. We might be able to take it to SGS and see if they can't figure out what it is, since they have equipment. If we try to find 6, the only place I can think he would be is either in dark or deep cavern somewhere, or he's back on his spaceship. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. So where are we at? Let's go talk to Pirate Mom and see what she has to say first. He has a spaceship? Yeah, 6. The robot guy who's like Mary Sue, the Larry Stew. That spaceship that the Assassin Guild hang out in, or whatever, I don't remember what they're called. It's a spaceship, right? I assume that's 6's spaceship? The eye. Yeah, there you go, the eye thing. That's a spaceship, right? And presumably that's 6's spaceship. Or it's the other guy that he's hunting. I don't think it's his. Oh, okay. I assumed it was his. Given that it's pretty clear he's an alien or something. I guess spoilers, but not really. This module's really doing some stuff, everybody. I will give them that. They dreamed big and lived big with the stories that they're telling. And he's probably gone from the world? Well, he wants us to go meet him in the North Underrail to go hunt down the other guy, right? So, I don't know if he leaves automatically, or if there's a chance we could go and find him somewhere. Because we can't go to North Underrail, obviously, but he might be on his spaceship or still hanging out in deep caverns, technically. Okay, I'm going to get a save, and we're going to talk to Mom here. The Todd problem. The Todd problem. Let's see. Hi, I need to talk to you. Do you need a son? I visited the monolith. She pauses. What did you discover? Explain to her what you saw. She listened carefully, but displays neither surprise nor awe regarding a single word you said. I see. This is the same thing I saw. You've been up there? Yes, it drew me near just like it draws everyone. Then what are your thoughts on it? What are yours? It's a symbolic message. What I saw does not correspond to real events, but instead reveals something fundamental about the One. I think it means literally what I saw. It depicts the One as someone who holds great power, which he shows in front of the king. I think it's... I don't remember what it showed us now. I'm gonna go with, let's say it's literally the One. She nods. I understand what you mean. It clearly revolves around the One. He's important. He is the bringer of light and the bringer of death. Whether he is a servant of good or evil is unclear. Both light and death can be interpreted in many different ways. But who is the One? He could be anyone. Maybe it's not a he, but a she or something else. A being from the past, from the future, independent of time or reality. He could be an ideal, a hero, or a villain. She did stand for a moment, pressing her lower back as, oh, she then looks at you. But all this is beyond. She waves it away. No, who knows? Mercantile, Black Eels killed your son. Okay, so apparently she talks about the monolith, but doesn't actually have anything to do with what's his face. The one is Siphoner Man. That's actually pretty funny. In my mind, the one is either our character or it's like Six, who's like a genderless robot alien. I don't know. Could be either. Usually if they go with the whole like the gender is unknown, that's usually a good sign that it's the player character if gender is a choice. If building your own character is a choice, then it's usually like a vague outline of a person. If it's not, then it's usually just a reference to like, oh, it's your older self or whatever. That's why so for so long I thought for sure in what's it called? Elden Ring, that the one god that people referred to but never showed up and they couldn't figure out if it was a man or a woman. I thought for sure that was going to refer to like your own character in the future, but apparently it refers to Mikola or whatever, the one god who's in a coma, which I thought was kind of sucked. All right, I just gotta save. Hold on, I'm gonna save again. Yeah, we'll just overwrite it. It's fine. Alright, so we're gonna go see if we can't find a place for Todd. I prefer not to hand him to the pirates since I don't think he would do well in that setting. Let's see. What am I doing? Okay. The brew. We hit the rift. And we want to go to Southgate Station. Find Bethesda? Oh god. This isn't Fallout 3. Let's see if we can go talk to... Oops. This isn't Fallout 3. I guess administrations? I don't know who I would talk to about having Todd come and stay here, but... Hi. Station counselor. Was Laura holding up? Did you manage to speak to her? When you tell me about Core City? I'll learn about the Protectorate. Okay.
What the dog doing?
I don't... Well, the dog is currently trying to figure out where the dog's gonna live. Okay, this place is empty. Zet, welcome. How you doing? I don't know who else to talk to about letting him stay here. But welcome, Zet. I hope you're having a good day. Can you scan this? What we got? Fence retreat. An appearance on Danner. I don't know who he was or why this is all happening, but I know I've noticed a drastic increase in power levels since his disappearance. Clear as a mind storm in the black, I tell you. He had something in his room drawing a lot of power, and I think there's a reason Ezra wanted me to go to Tanner's room with him. Once we go check it out, I'll have more answers. Oh, wait, is there like a story beat I missed in here somewhere? We're gonna find Todd's Bethesda? Yeah. Oh, we can actually ask him about Acorn. Have you heard of the Acorn, aka Acorn? He stares at you, Acorn? I don't know much about it myself, but from my understanding, it's a highly valuable piece of technology that could benefit the station greatly. He continues staring. It's a technology that isn't past, yet it's so advanced it might as well be from the future. The fact that you even know about it is a rare thing, to say the least. I learned about it during a trip to the Black Sea. Underrail holds many secrets, but they're not secret enough for me. Very good, but did you find it, the Acorn itself? Yes, right here. He stares at it, his eyes revealing nothing. Can you open it? I had to find a way to open it yet. I just thought someone else know more. That is understandable. Its quantum near-field lock cannot be unlocked without a corresponding code signal. Can they be beaten? They cannot. However, the Acorn currently The Acorn's current instability doesn't diminish its value. He looks at it, expecting you to finally hand it over to him. Here, you can take it. Give him the Acorn. Or it took a lot of effort for me to get this. I'd prefer if I got paid first. Hands you, you have a sum in mind. 18,000, 15,000, 12,000, 9,000. 15,000? You know, I know the Acorn's worth, but the council members do not. They will never allow such a money to be spent on it. 12? 9,000. 18,000. Okay, 6,000. Done. After counting and handing you a hefty sum of SGS credits, he takes the Acorn like a lens of the scanner. His eye passes over the Acorn, analyzing its every feature. Stay here with me in the engineering. Then he pauses. If you had brought this to the station sooner, he pauses yet again. It stays here would have been much shorter, for certain. Wait, what? Then he pauses. If you had brought this to the station sooner, he pauses yet again. And stay here would have been much shorter, for certain. Why is that? Tanner. Tanner knew about the Acorn too? That I do not know, but if he knew, he wouldn't miss the opportunity to take it with him. If he didn't, which I think is the less likely case of the two, he would have quickly realized its value. As you learned yourself, he is not to be underestimated. I want to know more about it. He nods, certainly. What does the Acorn do? Creates whatever it's been instructed to create, all on its own. Can you describe how it works? Do not ask for details, I don't know them, but I have learned the basics of how the Acorn functions. At its core, it's an artificial intelligence that controls billions and billions of nanobots, which it has at its disposal. Its purpose is to create, and what that is defined by a preloaded blueprint. At this point, there is something that needs to be said. There is more than one Acorn. Each one is made to build a specific thing, and then they are distributed, waiting for the moment of their activation, protected by as yet undefined quantum near-field locks. Acorns, they are not wasted on trivial things. They are made for mega projects, machines and construction massive in scale, importance, and complexity. Entire city is whatever the mind can conjure. Because within the Acron...
Nanomachine, son!
Technically, because within the Acorn there exists a mind that can realize. Upon activation, the Acorn analyzes its surroundings. It can interact with it through its nanobot limbs, over which it has exceptional control. It will gather and process raw materials, but ultimately the nanobots are limited in what they can do on their own. So it needs to produce power, build machines so that it will build larger machines, more and more advanced, and even develop necessary technology so that it may progress and ultimately realize its prime directive, to finish the mega project. But when it comes to finishing the mega project, there is an important clause. It need not be built to strict specification. The AI will substitute materials, rearrange elements according to need, what it thinks is proper with respect to the purposes of the mega project and within certain confines, all of which it is aware of. It will adapt to anything to complete its work. If the technology is already available, it will learn it. If the machines are there, it will use them. If there is something willing to help, it will accept it. It is alive. His single eye radiates cold fascination. And then once it finishes its work, it ceases to be. And if T make them, they seem far too advanced when compared to the rest of the technology they have. They did make them, build them, but the idea, the design, the concept, the mind to the new frontier technology, that is inconceivable. To Biocorp, I dare say even more so. The artificial intelligence employed by the Acorn is far too advanced, even for the likes of Bionic Institute. He pauses. And the technology. Bionic Institute? A super corporation from the past, but in this discussion, unimportant. Sounds like an Eden kit? Yeah. 110%. I mean, that's definitely what they were going for. That's the thing from Fallout I keep referencing, but I couldn't remember what it was called. He continues after a pause. No, the technology of the Acorn comes from different minds, but whose? That I'd rather not speculate. Where could the other ones be? Biocorp had one, at least one confirmed. Knowing the history between the two supercorporations, I always wondered whether it was stolen from New Frontier Technologies. But then again, the relations between supercorporations were fickle. Impairment. It is known that the New Frontier Technologies manufactured units for other supercorporations, so Biocorp may have been one of those. There aren't many Acorns out there, this is for certain, but they are probably still out there. What's going to happen with Acorn now? Without the code signal, it is unusable. We can scan it, study it, so see what we can extrapolate from observation and measurement, but the signal, that is the only way we know of. What happened if it tried forcing it open? It would destroy itself. Did you really think the creators of technologies that are so advanced would allow themselves such an oversight? It would destroy itself and maybe the whole station alongside it. How do you know all this? I've learned a lot during my lifetime. Acron being one of those things. He ends his sentence with a piercing stare. Wow, Ezra, you are really just a super old, super evil dude, huh? Okay. Okay. Interesting. So is there anybody else we could even take it to? He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy doing his little guy stuff. I'm not even a threat to you. I haven't completely destroyed cities and ruined hundreds of thousands of people's lives or nothing. I'm just a little guy. Just a little guy living in a little station in the south. I guess my question is, do we found the acorn, but no way to open it, or you can find it over to someone who perhaps can, or you keep it for yourself? I guess the other question is there someone else we could have given it to? Do we know anybody else that's a hypertech guy who's still, like, aware? Because there's Freak, but Freak has gone crazy. He was lobotomized, essentially. To give it to Todd? Yeah, I'm sure Todd will know exactly what to do with it. Man, I'm trying to think who else we could give it to. Chorts are dead. But the Chorts would also know what to do with it because they have advanced technology. I don't think the Rebellion would care about it. I don't know anyone. The Oligarchs probably? Yeah, but I don't really have a connection to the Oligarchs, right? I don't know who I would talk to give it to them. I mean, I guess there's the company we technically work for. Yeah, you do to JKK. Yeah, I guess JKK might have something to say about it. Not that we really are friends with them, per se. Okay, let me load back. Let's see if we can go talk to JKK about it and see if they have a different insight. T12, what is your recommendation? Yeah, T12, what is your take on all of this so far? As one of the other people who knows what's going on. Merchant districts. Does it really matter? I guess Core City entrance is probably fine. If T12 has an input. Yeah, we'll go talk to JKK and see if they want this thing. Oh, wait. John the Beautiful has interrupted us. Sorry, I'm busy. For you always. Let him continue. There's a man waiting for you in the dominating bar up in the residential area named Acron. Dressed in black and red cloak, wears a mask, has a sword. Can't miss him. I vaguely remember there's a random person in Core City that might want it from reading articles and stuff. Oh, okay. Did he say what it's about? No, he only said that I tell you, which I'm doing right now, that it's something important and that you should see him as soon as possible, which means now. What do you know about him? A few things, but it's going to cost you. What do you need? Leonard being yearning for some bacon and cheese. He pats his belly between the two slices of root bread. Okay, I'll be back. Talked about sneaky. Okay, see you around. Whatever, to be honest. Okay. Well, let's go talk to the hardcore guy at the bar. Things have suddenly taken an odd turn.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
Oh, I wonder, wait, this guy's a tech guy. Would this guy know anything about it? Hold on. The city, this bracelet. Nope, nothing from him. I mean, to be fair, this is going to be the end of the series, pretty much. I guess. Are we basically done with the story of the module then? Is this the last thing? Hi. We're about seeing the fight between Mad Butcher and the Bell sisters. That would be so hardcore. Is this not the right... Oh, I'm in combat suddenly. Why am I suddenly in combat? Hold on, I have no intention of killing everyone. You finished the base story and this is the DLC ending, so yeah. Oh. So what happens with the rest of the pirate stuff? Scavenger. Maybe I missed him? Is he in the bottom of the bar? Oh, maybe this isn't the right bar. Is there another bar? You don't have much of that left, right? Well, I have to go do on another raid for them, and then I don't know what's after that. So wait, where's another bar at? I assume they meant this one. This is the Hardcore City bar. But there's no one special here, is there? Or say there's a... Go. East of your house? Oh. Oh, I guess I'm in the wrong district then. Oh wait, I guess just taking the elevator probably doesn't be as fast. So yeah, maybe they direct you to the guy to give this to. There are 2 bars. Okay, so it must be the other one. Well, it makes sense that he's hanging out by my house. The other is trash? Oh. It says it's very important, as in, like, right now. Is this a bar? Commoner. That's trespassing.
Welcome to Liar's Bar.
We're not playing Liar's Bar right now. That's a different thing. I feel like I'm not seeing anyone who matches this description. Okay, apparently this is someone's house, despite it saying that this isn't someone's house. Oh, is this a bar? No. Huh. Well, looked like a bar, but it wasn't. No. Southeast corner in the same zone as your home. Southeast corner. I think that's what I just walked into, and everyone started shooting at me. Is it this, then? Oh, it is this. Okay. I didn't realize this was a bar. We've actually never been in this room. He addresses you calmly. His voice not only unhindered by this mask, but rather sounds more resonant and clear than a voice should be. His right hand rests comfortably on the table as his left remains on the hilt of his sheathed sword at all times. Dogfighter McGillicuddy, the one and only. Who are you? Not the wrong person. Invictus. Invictus. I'm Acron, a representative of the United Stations, even though I may not look the part. What is this about exactly? The United Stations has a very lenient dress code up north. What do you want? John told me your name. What is this all about? You've mistaken me for someone else. What is this about exactly? I've information that may be in the possession of an object called the Acron. If it is true, the United States are very, very interested in this object. They would gladly pay you a generous sum of money for it. No questions asked how you obtained it. How could you possibly know whether I have such a thing? I know. Okay, it's true. I have the acorn. He nods, but I'm not willing to part with it. It's going to cost you a lot. Before you do anything, I'd like to know more about what it does. Very well. There's no reason to hide anything at this point. The acorn is a device that's capable of autonomously manufacturing highly complex things out of whatever materials are available to it. I couldn't possibly give you the details of the process itself, but some of the things that it's capable of producing cannot be accomplished by any other means. At least not easily or as well. You must already be thinking, what can I do with such a thing? But the truth is, you can't do anything. You can't open the container. It has a quantum near-field lock that can only be opened by a coded signal. A coded signal lost in time. And the lock is so advanced, not a single one has ever been fooled. Truthfully, between you and me, I doubt any of the experts at the United States would be up to the task. Once they figure that out, they'll turn to someone else for help. Hexagen, perhaps? So in the end, your options are rather limited. You know, you could try wasting wasting your time, but no one here will get the goods inside. So it will inevitably end up in the north anyway. You even know what the acorn is, so if you decide to sell it, you're unlikely, let's be straight with each other, you'll never get as good a deal as I'm offering you right here, right now. So cut out the middleman and walk away rich. Eat it in front of him? That would actually be amazing. And your offer is? I'm offering you 15,000 Charon, and it's it being the preferred currency in these parts. I don't want any money. Take the acorn. Money doesn't interest me. I want your sword. Okay, what about 20? It's important to the acorn is I do have a limited budget. I cannot accept your offer. Okay, so he won't give me a better deal on it. What if we just take a sword? What if I want your sword? He pauses. You want my katana in exchange for the acorn? Only that? He has a katana. Of course he does. Yeah, will you give me the katana or what? He takes his scabbard and lays it on the table. It is embellished with an intricate drawing of a hexagonal shape looped by long serpentine red dragon. He stares at it for a while, as if silently marveling at its beauty. He then responds, this katana has been by my side for many years, but Acorn takes precedent. He pauses, pushes the sword on the table. I will miss it greatly. His hand is still scabbard, however. His hand is still in the... Okay, give him the acorn. He takes the acorn and lets you go of the sword. The United States are thankful for your cooperation, Dogfighter McGillity, and so am I. You made my job a lot simpler. Are we done? We are. Goodbye. Are we? Goodbye, Dogfighter McGillicuddy. Wait, so what's... Hold on. I have a question. I have questions, some comments, some concerns. Oh, lockpicking. What happens? Do they care?
What does katana mean?
It means Japanese sword.
Wait, why does he care if I'm breaking into this room? Also, this guy has a bunch of custom animations, apparently. Yeah, apparently they all really care if I break into this room. Samurai Cop is such a good, bad movie, by the way. Okay, so we found at least 2 people who care about this. What happens when I just walk in here? What happens if I just walk right up in here? Oh, they won't let me use my gun? Oh, okay. You got the wrong person. I know who you are. Take a seat and have an offer. Leave. Don't be stupid. You'll regret it. Okay. I'm not done yet. Hold on. Okay. So we just go in here. What if I just go in here and start blasting? Okay, good. You're not actually immune to stuff. Ow. Darn it. Why are you shooting at me? He's the evil one. Okay, so we have two people who are interested in the sword then, or in the box then. So I guess the other option is JKK might want it. Let's go see if we can talk to someone from JKK. Because I think the family, the rich family don't like me. Closed door, I guess? I was trying to do that, but he sees me too quickly. It might be doable. I just kill everyone in the room and take his stuff. Oh wait, we're on the right floor already for this. See, I think I can... What if I just talk to you? Okay. Nothing. Core Tech. Let's see. I think my group is this one? I think I'm allowed to just wander around in here, right? I don't remember who my handler is. Ola? Where do you keep all the good stuff? I have nothing to show you good. Would you believe me? If I tell you I'm willing to spend a lot of money, would you believe me? I think I would, bro. Check this out. Oh, they actually have a marking to indicate, like, the hidden stuff? The super secret double hidden things? Also, while you're in Core City, see if you can't make a decent energy shield than other electronics. Okay. We can definitely do that. I just want to see who all... Well, we have a few things we need to do, right? Wow. Oh, it doesn't have a stealth bonus? Oh, no, it does. 37. Wow, that's the first time we've come across a pair of shoes that are actually better than the ones we've got. That's incredibly rare. Okay, good to know we can come talk to him and potentially get decent gear. Okay, wait. There might be someone else in this building we can talk to. I don't want to waste this teleportation juice. Oh, wait. You were important, right? Okay, have you ever heard of the Acron? I'm afraid I haven't. I don't know much about it myself, but my understanding it's a highly valuable piece of technology that could serve our organization greatly. Oh, interesting. I'm certain it would. However, the conversation we've had about the device... Tortoise took, well, you see what that little thing has brought to the city, that little piece of technology, all that trouble. The consequences of its short stay will surely linger on for years to come. And this acorn has the same air about it as the aforementioned, he pauses. Urban Regularity kept this acorn away from the city, at least for the time being, especially from the other two. He smiles. It's for the best. It's for the best. Oh, so he doesn't actively want it. He thinks it's too dangerous. Back in deep caverns, there... Oh, you know who we could maybe take it to? I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Would Dude want it? Do we think Dude would know what to do with it? Imagine a CEO actually a good decision, right? Well, he's not making a good decision. He's making a safe decision. Which is almost unheard of. Okay. Dude's cave home. Let's talk to Dude real quick. Dude, give me juice. Hey, dude, you seen like this? You show him the acorn. Let's go answer a question about all we went through. Okay. Hey, dude, have you ever seen anything like this? Show him acorn. Whoa, man. Whoa. I know this from somewhere. It's a Connor? You mean acorn? Pronounced acorn. A Connor. A Connor? Wait. It's also coming back to me. He stops to think, his eyes turning more and more distant.
Damn it. I've been banned from Dave & Buster's.
Man, I see this image before my eyes of this, like, round thing in an open metal case. Case just like that one. This sphere. It's, like, glowing in the dark. Let me describe it. It was awesome, man. It was an awesome computer of notable roundness. Awesome computer of notable roundness. I think that's what it stands for. No, man, it stands for a Connor because it was made by Connor. But it's an awesome computer of notable roundness because it's an awesome computer of notable roundness. Who's Connor, anyway? The guy who, like, made a Connor? Pay attention, man. I mean, really. I mean, what do you know about the guy? If he is a guy besides him or her making the Acorn? Well, you're right, man. Connor also, like, a last name. Maybe not a he. Maybe it's an it. Never mind the gender. Tell me about Connor. I really don't know anything about Connor, who or what or when he is, other than that he made a Connor. Awesome computer, notable roundness. That's the information I got in my mind, and you already know that that thing works. He takes a gulp of brew. Would you hold on to it for me? I can actually give it to him. What do you know about the Acorn itself? Well, not much. I don't even know where I've seen it. But I know it's important, like very important and powerful. Totally awesome. I think it's one of those creative computers, man. You must have encountered those somewhere. They make stuff out of stuff. You, like, just plug them in, let them do their thing, and after a while they, like, make. It's not a complete mess, then something cool. A figurine, a keyboard, apocalypse. Awesome computer of notable roundness, definitely. This one's a notable roundness because, like, you see a sphere is the perfect shape. No weak points. You know how they say, the saying goes, a bar is as good as its drunkest patron, or something to the effect? Yeah, a sphere is the best at enduring high pressure and stress. Not so much external pressure can cause it's made to tough stuff, but rather internal pressure due to, like, hard thinking it's got to do. I know I get under a lot of stress when I think a lot, so much I think I'm going to explode. If I was a sphere, I'd never explode, man. Be able to put me anywhere, you know, and be, like, non-explosive to the max, yeah. I don't know, I've been around a lot of round people, and some of them tend to be quite explosive. Man. Anyway, things of notable roundness tend to, like, roll around when you don't want them to, which sucks. So you got to keep them in boxes of notable cubeness for easier stacking. Or perhaps of notable tesseractness, but those are, like, really, really hard to find here. Would you hold on to it? Are you derailed, man? I'm not keeping anything like that here. Someone's, like, after it for sure. And I don't want to get woken up by a bunch of stealth-shielded, sober cyber assassins after you're gone. And don't you dare, like, stash it somewhere in my cave. I see a Connor lying around, I'm going to throw it out, man, no matter how awesome or of notable roundness it is. That's all I wanted to ask. Yeah, man. Okay, talk to you later. Okay, so he doesn't care. Can I go... Oh, the Oculus. There we go. Let's see what old Oculus has to say about it. Do you care about this, as if? Have you heard of the Acorn? Acorn. His voice resonates with curious recollection. Yes, why do you ask? I learned about it during one of my recent ventures. What do you know about it? Seemingly, it's a modest square container, but within it lies a technology so advanced it's beyond the comprehension of even the smartest minds in the world. The majority, anyway. This is a very valuable thing, yes. Now, besides finding out about it, did you also perhaps find it? As a matter of fact, I have it here. Show him the Acorn. Acorn, an actual Acorn. He looks at the container, its printed name and symbol, marveling at its every feature. I never thought I'd see one of these, see one in person. It took a lot of effort for me to get this. How do we discuss my payment first? Of course. Will 3,000 Charon suffice? Anything less would be disrespectful, considering the value of the item. 4? 5? 6? 7? Nothing? Okay, sounds right. Excellent. Expects the Acorn rotating it from side to side, and he looks at you. The coded signal? From the quantum near field lock? I don't have that, if that's what you mean. You know about it? Yes. For the lock. All Acorns have it. Perhaps I'm asking for too much. These locks are practically impenetrable, but there is time. You said Acorn. There's more than one? Jack goes, yeah, there are more of them. Acorns, you see, they are quite unique things. Inside each one is a spherical supercomputer, the brain of an artificial intelligence capable of controlling innumerable nanobots also contained within. Why? To create. For each Acorn has a prime directive to construct something, a mega project. Based on a blueprint it has. It must do this under any and all circumstances, and it can do it so autonomously, all on its own. A dude knows? I mean, he was somewhat aware of it, yeah. How does the Acorn work exactly? How does it work? Obviously, I can't go into all the details, but I can describe to you the basic principles of operation to the extent of my knowledge. Once an Acorn is unlocked and activated, it loads its blueprint and seeks to realize it. The blueprint is not as simple as one may think, as it does not only contain the design for the mega project itself, but also patterns for everything that needs to be built in order to finish the mega project. To put it simply, the nanobots cannot do everything themselves. They need to make machines that make bigger and more complex machines. Now, the Acorn's advanced AI allows it to evaluate its surroundings, which might be nothing more than a damp, deserted caverns. This would mean its nanobots would have to adapt, to seek raw material on their own, manufacture machinery, essentially develop all the necessary technology from scratch. The Acorn will often need to establish an external source of electric power. Its starting energy stores are immense, but finite. And it needs the means to defend itself, and it works as well. Conversely, it could have been activated in a high technology environment where power and process materials are readily available, where it could interface with other machines and systems in order to, yes, learn and aid itself in order to complete its task. One can even actively help it by feeding it data it requires for further progress, as well as supply it with resources. This is going to sound a little weird. Do you think we could take this to Foundry and just plug it in? Could we take it back to, like, Maribeth or whatever the name of that giant metalwork machine is and just plug it in? Or something? I know that sounds weird, but all the things he's describing sound like exactly what Foundry is. Additionally, it's clever enough to substitute materials it doesn't have with the ones it does, so the end result can fill the requirements in essence, but not necessarily in form. As long as it fits the needs, the Acorn will use anything it can, however it can. It doesn't merely follow the blueprint, it uses reason. It reasons, yes. Yeah, maybe it'll just turn Foundry to a gigantic mega lake? Get something? It's also highly advanced, highly advanced, and the mega projects, as the name implies, are monumental in scale and importance. After all, using such elegant technology of lesser things would be wasteful, wouldn't it? Think of the massive machines, vehicles, facilities, stations, entire cities, megalopolises. Yes, you understand. Did NFT make them? They seem far too advanced when compared to the rest of the technology they have. They're manufactured and issued them. That is documented and well known. The container is theirs. The quantum field lock is theirs. The technology of the Acorn itself, highly unlikely. Such acute artificial intelligence and fine nanobot control and capabilities surpass the known technologies achievements of any of the super corporations of the time period, and even today. Where could the other ones be? They were offered to anyone who could afford them, programmed to realize what the contractors desired. All the major super contractors had them. It's no secret. Saying Acorn was abundant would be ridiculous, but there is good evidence they all had at least one at one point or another. But here they are now. This is a question I cannot answer. This one's the first to be discovered after decades and decades. What are you going to do with it? Observe, study it. It is unusable without the code signal, a state in which it will remain for years to come, but even in dormancy, it can teach us plenty. For now, we have it. We have it. Okay. Let's talk about something else. Met 6 in the deep caverns. Applies with a delay. You did not follow him there, did you? No, our encounter was meant to happen. As strange as this may sound, 6 told me that himself, but he spoke about a lot of other things, and it was those I have trouble understanding. That is why I come to you. Silent. No one else but you spoke to him as far as I know, which makes you the only one I could approach about this. You are interested in him as much as I am. Don't try to deny it. I will not. Regardless, 6 is my client, and to clients I have certain obligations. Not revealing sensitive information about them is one of those obligations, so why should I reveal anything to you? If 6 could have revealed his true name to me, then it's clear how much he trusts me. Why wouldn't you? Because I'm the freaking Invictus! You see, I see your point, Dogwater McGillicuddy. You've managed to grab my attention. I'll let you start. Speak of me of your encounters with 6. After that, I'll fill in the missing pieces of the rest of my knowledge. Wow! So we found some deep lore on 6 that I didn't realize was going to be here. Okay. Okay, deal. Here goes. Tell him what you learned from 6 in deep caverns. You finished relating your strenuous adventure to Azif. You tried to be as brief as possible, but still failed utterly. Yet the other party never lost interest, not even for a single moment. Moreover, as you were stirring Staring into his non-human eyes, he began to notice things you had failed to notice before. This abyss does not have a bottom. This abyss is in fact a gateway to an expanding universe. In darkness, you now see stars and galaxies colliding and embracing in death, only to give birth to new ones after the remains have recombined. As your words shed new light to recent events, so does the celestial bodies shine brighter. So you create new memories and ideas, new cerebral stretches for his consciousness to explore and occupy. Void these eyes are not to those who have ability to see through them. What is happening? He failed, as if murmurs to himself before raising his voice to a normal speaking volume, and Tanner managed to escape, at least for now. So that is what happened? Well then, what do you think of all this? This is a lot of information to digest, yes. He pauses briefly. It is clear that our mutual friend saw something in you that deemed you worthy of his rather stingy, all things considered, words. One cannot say he wasn't right. You slew Chort, after all, just as he predicted you would. And when you asked him whether he was a god man, he neither confirmed nor denied it, which is puzzling? He lowers his head in thought. This is a lot to take in such a short period of time. But then again, yes. Chort, could it be Leviathans? Leviathans? Are you trying to tell me that Chort is one of these Leviathans? Wait, Leviathans? One moment. His words come out slow, emerging from the depth of his mind.
Good enough.
What? Good enough. Oh, okay. Of his mind as soon as they are being thought of. You see, Godmen hate and have fought Leviathans, whom I do not know much about other than they are the enemy, repulsive, giant. Yes, the mainframe spoke to me of them. That might be why Rom Umbra could actually be a godman? Wanted you to destroy Chort? Chort is a Leviathan? But Leviathans were defeated, so the mainframe said. What you said is true, then that would explain why killing Chort suddenly became more important than finding Tanner. But how do I fit into all of this? You? I'll get to that, but let us consider this first. It could be really that not all Leviathans have been defeated, and that Rom Umbra, at some point during his chase for Tanner, recognized Chort as being one? But then again, there is so much in your story that grounds Chort to our world. It came to existence in this, our reality, in our time, yes? It is not otherworldly, is it? Then again, it is apparent that Rom Umbra experiences things differently than us. There's no before or after for him, only events. Self-contained and predestined. It could be that Leviathans are not specific creatures of any kind. Could be that they are evil in general? But they haven't defeated evil, or did they? In their time? It'd also be that you aren't special on your own, but because you simply embody something else more? Well, I hope to confess that I really dominate, to use okay, I have to confess that I really dominate. I am the Invictus, after all. I think I was just a fortunate man in the unfortunate world. I still made of nothing more than flesh and bone. Well, I am the Invictus, after all. I think I was just a fortunate man. Flesh and bone. Could be that your value does not come from your material properties. Talking about our computer, we are now dealing with the concepts we cannot understand so easily, if at all. The simpler the model of something is, and the less you have to hypothesize, the more likely it is for that model to be true. We make a lot of suppositions. Ra'umba being a godman, it is an idea I resist greatly because godmen, the way I see them, cannot be these cyborgs. Whatever Ra'umba is, their form should be purer, more celestial, angelic. No matter how alien Ra'umba might appear to us, he is not alien enough, not on a vertical scale at least. He is too conceivable. Chort, on the other hand, everything I imagined Leviathan to be came out of your mouth. Yes, perfectly. The appearance, the repugnant atmosphere, the malicious attitude, the voracious monologue. It even mentioned the high ones, correct? It is shadow we expel, the flesh of the high ones. His voice drops to a whisper. Could Ron Umbra really be one of the godmen? Ron Umbra? If he is, then so is Tanner. Tanner. Are you okay? You have revealed so much to me, things I have never expected to hear from someone who acquired... Wait, to hear from someone we acquired in such a coincidental way. Someone had just happened to enter the Protectorate Embassy at the right time. I am thankful for the insight you have provided. Now is the time to honor my part of the deal. Hadrian Tanner was my client. What? Just gasp? Allow me to explain everything. Many, many years ago, I was approached by our mutual client, Rum Umbra 6. Although approach might be the wrong word here, he appeared right before me, out of thin air. He had no trouble finding me, even though few souls knew where I was. His tall figure overshadowed mine, yes, and I thought it meant the end of me. But fortunately, I was wrong. He is an assassin, true, but I wasn't his target. He was direct and inquisitive, and difficult, yes, especially when responding to my queries. His stay was short. He asked me several questions, looked around, and left me with this. One day a person will seek my help in obtaining an item of great importance. I am to accept this job and carry on with it as the client demands. No time frame, no indication as to who this person might be, nor what this item was. I will know it when it happens, he said. All these things are clear now, but back then I was confused. I couldn't grasp it. Many years had passed after that, and that whole encounter moved to the back of my mind, forgotten, until we contacted by whom I know now as Hadrian Tanner. Even that is not his real name. This happened just over a year ago now. He approached us under a pseudonym back then, yes. Understandably, Ram Umbra was right, even if it did take a long time for it to happen. I made contact with this person to acquire something from the city of the Faceless and Deep Caverns. The very cube that would end up causing all this mayhem. What did Tanner want it for? He never said. And... Wait. He never said, and I did not ask. It is an object capable of outputting incredible amounts of energy. Whatever he needed it for had to be something too demanding for any power source he had available. He didn't ask specifically for it, though, at least not immediately. He was simply aware of the Faceless and their technology, and he wanted a slice of it, hoping that it would fulfill his needs and only would help him acquire that. We needed the right Oculite for the job because it was apparent that this was a difficult task. It meant passing through the Chort Institute, reaching deep caverns, traversing the perilous wilderness, evading or confronting all that lurks there, locating the Faceless and their city before proceeding to the hardest part of the mission up to that point, infiltrating the Faceless society. We needed someone who is the embodiment of Oculus, who would dedicate himself and deliver, and we had just the one. How he tricked their mind readers, how he became a member of their society, how he gained access and insight into their technology, and all that without actually becoming one of them, he pauses. But that I do not know. He was cut off from us completely. For communication, any communication was extremely risky. Yet we were aware that this mission asked for a lot of the time and patience, so we simply waited. Until one day we received a message. It was a very brief and heavily encrypted, yes, but it described to us the cube. It was exactly what Tanner had wanted. Thus, we entered the final part of the operation, stealing the cube from the Faceless. And as he has achieved all these great feats before, impossible for most, so he managed to snatch the cube from the Faceless and sneak out of their city. Everything was running smoothly up to that point. Perfect, you could say. Then things became more complicated. And just at that moment, Six returned. He was aware of everything that had been happening, and he was pleased with how I performed so far. His content would seem evaporate. Everything began crashing down, starting with the Earth itself. The infiltrator had already managed to transfer the cube to another Oculite when the earthquake struck. The Oculite, in return, was supposed to hand the cube over to Tanner's people, which he did. Then finally left Core City. And then we lost track of them. Partially due to the communication problems caused by the earthquake, partially due to the incompetence of the Oculite which was meant to follow them. But we lost track of both Tanner's people and the cube. Now, because of your story, I know that these people were the SGS merchants, the bakers, and what happened to them afterwards, but at the time, we had no idea what was going on. You can understand that Ram Umbra was far from pleased, and I believe he was in that very mood when he arrived to Oculus, yes. He remained here up until we learned that the Chortists had acquired something from the Cortech research facility that fit the description of the cube. Then he went after it. I wouldn't be lying if I told you I was relieved to see him leave, even though I was eager to somehow learn more about him, despite how non-forthcoming he was. I feared that. If that state of the mission deteriorated even further, it would be I who would have to vacate Oculus, and quickly. The rest, well, that was your story, Dogbiter McKelty. That surely explains a lot. Sure does. You have more questions for me, yes? What happened afterwards to the Oculite infiltrated the Faceless City? We do not know. After handing the cube into the hands of other Oculite, he simply vanished. We had agreed beforehand that should his infiltration become successful, he would stay in their society for an indefinite amount of time still, if it was possible. There is so much to learn from the Faceless that we weren't going to give up on that after it comes so close. We haven't heard from him since. Utter silence. It could be that he was compromised and later hunted down and executed, or that he returned to them to continue with his task and became absorbed by their society. After all, this could have been the mechanism by which he tricked the Faceless into believing that he was one of them. He became one of them. We're back to suppositions. The short and simple truth is, I do not know. At this point, everything is possible. What is the Faceless city like? The only thing he relayed to us was that it was more technologically advanced than we had anticipated, and that as a collective, they operate on a level above our own. Not much else. Our communication was quite short and to the point. Oh, and yes, he did warn us of their military capacity, and that we witnessed shortly after. So how did Tanner contact you, and under what name? Couldn't you have somehow figured out his position? Almost always he contacted us through a different individual, and when that was not the case, the individual at least used a new pseudonym. His true identity and location was never revealed to us until now. For someone who we now know to be a master at keeping himself hidden from someone like Rum Umbra, it's not surprising he was quite capable of managing us, mere mortals in comparison. Besides, Rum Umbra and I have already made a contract. I know what had to be done, and I didn't want to risk it. Okay. Your actions have led to the Faceless invasion so many deaths. Do you feel guilty? But they have led to those deaths, or did I just partake in this event that would occur regardless? You should dwell careful on the meaning of Run Umbra's words and how they relate to our perception of casualties. I know I will. Okay, Faceless. I have no more questions. Tanner, everything that happened. What is this place who built Oculus? Godmen. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff there. I feel that Underrail has provided the vast majority of the unknown vocabulary Sertil has encountered in the past few years. It does. The guy who wrote this, Stidge or whatever, he definitely went deep into the thesaurus or something to find as many words as complicated as he could for some of these statements. And a lot of these words I've heard before, but I've never seen them written out. And or I didn't know, it's a word I've heard, but I didn't understand how it's, spelled or whatever. Or I just have a really hard time pronouncing it because I have a dumb face. And that happens. Sometimes people have dumb faces. Okay, so wow, we actually got 2 XP from that. Okay, so we can turn it into him. So the oligarchs don't want it. The North wants it. SGS wants it. Oculus wants it. Who was the other? There was someone else I was thinking who might also want it. Who was the other person I would thought would might want it? Hold on. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Really? The last save was way back there? Weird. So, who's the last? So, dude. Core City Merchants, your house. Junkyard. Southgate Station, Junkyard, Foundry. Oh, that's what it was, the Foundry thing. Hold on. Let's go to Foundry and see if anybody here wants it or knows anything about this. God, I haven't been in Foundry in so long. Because there's the one tech guy. Is it this building? Oh. Go in. Yeah, do you? Nothing. I feel like the way that they're describing this, there's like a non-zero chance that you can just like plug this thing into Foundry. Oh wait, what do you say now that Chort's gone? Chort loves everyone except Brian. No one loves Brian. Okay. Take that, Brian. Take that. The only thing I'm not sure about is who I would hand this over to. You know what I mean? Because it really, 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 really feels like... You just plugged it into the foundry, it'd probably destroy the city and build something else? Yeah. The problem is we don't have the key to opening it, right? Hey, Bernard. Open, can you tell me about the foundry? Mine creature. Oh my god, wait, what? I need a favor. I want you to melt this for me. Show him Acron. He marvels at the curious box you hold in front of him. What's this thing made of? It's a pretty high-tech materials. Nonetheless, I don't think it should give Gloria any problems. You know, this thing doesn't seem like something you should just jump into the fire. Time to nuke foundry? If only you knew. Here, take it. If he takes the acorn from me. Well, shame, but I owe you a lot for fixing my Gloria, so if this is what you want, then that's what's going to happen. Now, once it's melted, whatever's left of it, feel free to throw away. Just melt it and think no further of it. Okay. You only want to see this thing gone. Okay, okay. He shakes the box, looks at it from all sides, and then takes it over to the loading conveyor. Puts it in there, his eyes lingering on the word acorn just for a while longer. With the press of the button, the acorn raises all the way to the top and then plunges into the belly of the furnace. You can hear a peculiar low-pitched buzzing sound vibrating inside of Gloria, but the sound's lifetime is quite brief. Well, that was that. Whatever that was, it's muck now. Wow. We get 2 XP for just melting it. It just melts. It doesn't explode or anything. It's just gone. Wow. So, yeah. Apparently you can just, yeah, you can just burn it and it just dies. Huh. It's just dead. That's kind of bonkers to me. So, okay. Where else? Okay, hold on. Where else do we think we could take this thing and do something with it? I'm trying to think. Where else? I mean, the faceless leave deep caverns after the main story, right? So much for anti-destruction mechanisms. Yeah. Well, it has anti-force open mechanisms, so maybe it doesn't explode. Maybe it just like dissolves itself or something. You can't even go back to the deep caverns? Oh, okay. Well, there we go. That solves that problem. Because I know we took the elevator to get out or whatever, but I couldn't remember if we could go back down there. Let's see. So I guess if we had done this earlier, we could probably give the box to the Faceless while we're down there. Or we could probably give it to the Chortists before we go to Deep Caverns, right? I don't know who else we could give it to. Huh. Man, I don't know. I don't know who else we could give it to. If the oligarchs don't want it, I guess if Freak was still alive or still sentient or whatever, he would be probably give it to him. Best ending is you eat it and become the awesome computer of notable roundness yourself. I guess so. Huh. I guess we can just hang on to it for now. Oh, I bet we could give it to the pirates. Wait, what happens if we give it to the pirates? What time is it? Okay, it's only 1. If I give it to the pirates, what happens? I mean, he wants everything else I've found, so he would take this too, presumably, right? I'm trying to think. Make sure. Defenses razor. Okay, we'd have to go time to raid. So we have to go do the raid first before we can even talk to him about this. Alright. Well, that's fine, I suppose. Let's go, I guess, drop our stuff off. Oh, I wonder if I could give it to the ferryman. Do you think the ferryman would have anything to say about it? Hold on. I didn't think about that, but... the ferryman might know something about it, since he's supposed to be kind of like a, you know, well of infinite wisdom kind of character. Or I guess if 6 hadn't left, we could probably give it to 6. The Giga Chad, yeah. The Boda Chad. Let's see. I'm not sure which one of these is better for the purposes of this. Might be this one. Let's try this one instead. Yeah, we could have probably given it to 6 directly if he was still here. Yeah, otherwise I don't know who else we could have given it to. I think that's probably about it. Or we could have probably given it to Tanner if Tanner was still around. Right? Because that would make sense. Where are you? Ferryman. What is this rotation, Ferryman? Come on, man. This shouldn't be an issue like this. Come on. How long is the rotation on this guy? This is the right area, right? Yeah, this is where he's supposed to show up. And it's just screen transition. He should be showing up here pretty quick. Imagine one of your sailors comes back, though, and you're like this, you're the pirate guy, right? He's like, sir, I have this thing to show you. It might be the single most important thing of all of Underrail. And he's like, we don't have time for that. We need you to go raid a ship so I have money. Oh, there's a timer if I remember correctly? Oh, well, that sucks. I thought we talked about this before, and it wasn't on a timer, that it was on like every screen transition basically is like a movement point for him. Oh, that sucks. All right. Also, we still haven't figured out what we're going to do with Todd. Todd's just living inside of that little submarine. We weren't able to mention Todd to anybody yet, which is really strange to me. Because I would have legit assumed we could give him to the mom. Just be like, hey, this guy is kind of weird. Can you take care of him? We need to build him Bethesda. That would actually be kind of hysterical. I'm trying to think where else we would put him, though. Because no one has mentioned anything about him. No, I don't want to pilot the boat. Boat? I don't need to pilot boat. I need to gather supplies off of boat. Lots and lots of supplies. And we just load up all the stuff and things that we can barely move. Because we have so much garbage. Okay. A little too much garbage, I guess. Okay, now we're moving. We can just dump all this stuff into the box. We have so much stuff. I'm very curious on what the whole monolith thing was about. Just so many things to put away. Because we're about to go do this raid, right? We don't want a bunch of extra weight on boat if we don't need it. We kind of only want the stuff that we need on boats to be on the boat. Grand Lord Boatman of Boating. I wonder if needing to know what the acorn is actually will help. The only real downside to that is whoever we ask about it seems to want to like buy it from us. And I didn't seem like there was an option to say no, which is a little concerning. Except Dude. Yeah, but Dude barely explained what the thing was. He was pretty incoherent about the whole situation, to be honest. I mean, maybe our character took something away from that I didn't, which is completely possible. Do I need this many antidotes? Probably don't. Told us it was an awesome computer of notable roundness. Yeah, but I don't know if that means our character's going to understand what's going on. That was the most valuable information. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, that seems kind of silly, but it also seems completely like something this module would try to pull on us. If that makes sense. Really? We don't have any of these kind of batteries in here? Weird. Okay, I think that's probably fine, though. Oh. I can also probably leave this here. Does this have a weight? No. I don't know why we have this still, the empty tool bracer thing. Maybe that's for something? We're just gonna leave this incredibly important piece of equipment in a random box in the middle of the Black Sea, alright, everybody? I guess we never did anything with the Rat Hound King's head either, which is strange to me. What time is it? Okay, we can probably go do this raid and then figure out what, if anything, is going to happen next. Okay. I don't remember, does the map tell me... It's upper. I need lower? What's that? I take research outpost. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the area I might need to go to do this might not be on the map. Because the way they made it sound is like it's over here somewhere. So we might not have actually been there yet. That's the most valuable information. It's important information. Let me see something. That's 100. I need the big ones. Here we go. Oops. Just give me all of these. There we go. Oh, whoops. I wonder if we can go talk about Acron without having it with us, and maybe they'll explain it to us that way. And that way we can get out of selling it to them, just because we don't actually have it on us. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed that we won't get to see the interactions between us and Tanner with trying to give it to him, or give it to Six, or the Shortists. Or the Faceless. I feel like the Faceless probably would have had a pretty cool thing to say about it, too. Like, they might actually have honest-to-God information about it. Like, it might turn out the...
Michael! Parkour! Parkour!
Parkour? What are we parkouring? What are we parkouring and why? But yeah, it might, based on the description, on how they explain everything, and this might be, maybe I'm overreaching, is it possible that the Faceless are just under the control of one of those? Is it possible that, like, the Faceless got incorporated into an Acorn doing its thing? And they're, like, actively doing a mega project? Because remember, it said it would incorporate anything around it to try to make its job easier. Don't see why they would be. Well, what is, I guess, what was their objective? I don't really remember now. Like, overall, I remember that they were, like, somewhat experiments that kind of escaped from being experimented on, right? By one of the, like, corporations. We don't really know. They just keep to themselves, mostly. Okay. And they had the advanced super technology in the form of the Tesseract cube. We found they were the main story before, right? Huh. Maybe the Faceless are working with an active Acorn system. And it's too strong for you to overcome. Okay. And that's kind of like what they're hive minding with is a like an AI, the Acorn AI. I think that would be a fun twist. If anything, I'd say Chort would be closer. Okay, I guess I can kind of see that. Wait, have I explored this place? I don't remember now. Looks like I've been here. It doesn't look like this opens. And there's nothing back here. Okay. Never mind. It's interesting, though, that they felt that Chort could have been an evil Leviathan, even though he's made here. So maybe it's one of those things where, like, that the Leviathans, like he said, was, like, kind of pure evil, but it's one of those things where, oh, there's a black eel. Well, you didn't attack us on sight, so I guess you're not, like, too aware. Oh, we actually have an oil refinery? Huh, I assumed that most of this was just stored previous oil, but apparently no, they have an oil refinery. A Slee cell? What? What was on next on In-Between? I think the next In-Betweener module is going to be supercharged lithium cell. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, it's just one of these. Oh, okay. It's just a battery. I think technically next is Kingdom Come Deliverance? I believe? I think it's Kingdom Come Deliverance. I know we're due for that one. Stick run? I mean, I don't know. You said you don't want me to do a stick run my first time, right? Also, a bot. Welcome, bot. Whoops. Didn't mean to transition there, but... Oh. There is... Oh, protectorate stuff. Okay. Interesting. Oh, there's like a whole building here. Black Eel Heavy Gunner. Oh. don't do one? Right. And thank you for getting that bot, Ika. What? Hey, hey. We ain't supposed to be here. Fight? Oh, okay. I thought this was open to the public. My apologies. Apparently this is not open to the public, as I had assumed. Maybe just this side is? Underman 2 Arcade. Help Underman save his beloved Underwoman from the clutches of the what? From the clutches of the degenerate mutant Batman. Okay, interesting. Oh, there's an upstairs. And rooms? I guess? Whoa, okay.
I'm Batman.
DIY cybernetic spawn. Periodic table. New elements have been added to the table, most notable of which is called Broomium, where some of the existing ones have been corrected and now have negative atomic numbers or epithets like irrational and stubborn. Is this? Oh my god, it's Dude's room, isn't it? It's Dude's room. It's Dude's room, everybody. That's why there was all the rats and all the beer bottles and all the nonsense about stuff. Let's go for a piece of paper. I'll read that in just a second. So we literally just go through and ransack all of these rooms. And nothing else in here. Okay. A note on the rig. The note reads Psionic Tranquility. Okay. Maybe that's a password to getting into something? I don't know. Like that. Ooh, that's nice. Let's take on that. Not really worth anything. Not really worth anything. Nothing. And nothing. Well, that one's actually worth some money. Part 1. Yeah, those ones aren't really worth anything. Okay. Let's do a little bit of ye old robbery. Just a little bit of the crim. Just crimming a little bit. Wait, where did I not pick that stuff up? Wait, what? Oh, I didn't. I didn't actually pick it up. I just took it off the boat and then put it on a different part of the boat. There we go. Okay, I'm less worried about being stealthed right now. Wait, Ion? Who is Ion? Also, this might be a better battery if it'll fit. Hey, it will fit. So we actually have a better battery now. Nice. Good theft. Good theft. We got a good theft. Criminy Jiminy? Yeah. That sounds like a different character we need to invent. Criminy Jiminy. 270, 110. I don't think 400, 120. Yeah, I can switch this one out, but that's all we can do. Criminy Jiminy definitely sounds like a funny character. That seems like one of those characters I would create that's like a particularly small guy. If we had like a character creation option to make people short, then it'd be like the evil Jiminy to Cricket. You know what I mean? Okay. so what do we got going on? There's a fishing rod over there. I can't go over there, apparently. Squeezer. Yo, welcome to Baldur's Jet Bits. We got parts, batteries, and repair kits and other stuff named Squeezer. Who's Baldur? The shop owner. His shift ended a few hours ago, so he went home to his wife. Now I'm running the shop. He scratches his head. What's your relationship? He's my boss and cousin and landlord. He scratches the back of his right hand. Did the drunks bother you? Only if they mistake the shop for the toilet. It has happened. Why Squeezer? Is it because you're skinny? It's my real name, and I'm skinny, and I tend to squeeze in the toilet through the gap in the back panel. He scratches his bum. What? What? Do you ever join the bar fights when they break out? No, not even if I started them. He scratches his leg. Okay. Need something for my jet. Alright, sweet. Do you buy stuff? 2 batteries, 2 vehicle batteries, and 2 engine batteries. Okay. Maybe I could just sell this stuff to him and not have to carry it around, since it's all so stupidly heavy. Okay. You have not nearly enough money, though. Why am I not surprised? Okay. Do you have anything? Is that? Oh, it's a size 2. We need a size 1. Nothing. I guess I can just trade, I guess, like a bunch of batteries? Mechanical repair kits? Oh, okay, so you want... Okay. Still owe you money for that. I mean, that's a lot of batteries. I guess, do I need this many batteries? I probably don't need this many batteries. Oh wait, these are engines too. So he doesn't have anything particularly good in here either, huh? Let's see, can you afford that? You can. It's only 9,000? Wait, what? Oh, that's the max amount of money he has. Okay. Well, that sucks. Alright, here's what I think I'm gonna do. I can't tell him anything, unfortunately. I think what we'll do, I think this is a kind of a good time to call it, since I don't actually know where I'm going, and I kind of need to do a merchant run. So we're gonna call it here for this. Okay. Raid and merchant run. So I can fix that. But yeah, we got a lot of real deep lore stuff dropped on us today. Like a lot. Even some stuff that ties back into the main story, which I didn't kind of expect with the 6 stuff and how that all ties into Tanner and whatever. There's a lot to think about. I think I'll have to figure out what we're gonna do. Lore! So much lore. So much lore. Lurkers, thank you. You have Twitch Pro go around. We always appreciate you. Anybody who checks the VODs here on Twitch, checks the VODs on YouTube repository, also greatly appreciated. Seeing those numbers helps keep me motivated. If you need a well thought out solution, you need a thinking solution. Raven Hildrick Inc. Thinking Solutions. And that's going to be it for me, everyone. Yeah. And I think that'll do it. Yeah. Bye.